Well, good morning to you. Is everybody up? Good morning. How are we doing?
Fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. While we whispering?
I don't know.
I'm like, while we whispering, thrown off. Why you thrown off? Probably because it's like, wait, something else supposed to be happening right now. What we doing here? All right. We ain't do the intro, probably because my throat's sore, like totally. Woo. It's yeah, I got that post-nasal drip.
I think that's going around.
And it's the worst.
Cough and
Are you?
My
yes.
voice goes really raspy.
Okay.
And then it comes back. And
I think I was choking to death last night a couple times. Woke everybody up in the house like, you okay?
Oh, okay. Man, we might as well jump into these hot topics. But before the hot topics, I missed you guys last week.
No.
How did it go?
Everybody.
How? What did y'all do?
In our lives?
In your lives, tell me about it.
What did I do?
Oh,
Last
man.
week? I don't know.
I went down to the celebration.
Oh, 400?
Yes, the 400-year commemoration celebration.
Tell us about it, for those who don't know.
Actually, we went there early before you had to pay, but then when it was time to pay, they put everybody out and made you come back in to pay.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
I knew it was going to be something good. I
Yes,
knew it was
they
going to be
did.
something good.
They should have had people pay.
I was cool because I already had my ribs and my rib tips and stuff. Because if I didn't have no food, I wasn't going on the other side of that gate.
That was it, huh?
That was it. I already paid for my food. I can't. But yeah, we were eating and everything, and I forgot the name of the guys that performed last Saturday. But they got up at right around maybe 5:30, quarter to 6.
Oh, to sing?
Yeah, to sing.
Okay.
They sang a few songs, and then next thing you know, they stopped, and we was like, okay, what's going on? And lady came and said, the band will be back at 7, but we need everybody to move on the outside, because by then they had closed everything off. And we need everybody to go on the other side of the gate and come back in and pay $10. How you going to ask people that's already inside to come back in and pay?
That should have just been considered money lost.
Right.
Exactly.
It's over.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because they put the $10 into the festival that they were there at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of... Because, I mean, the Italian Fest, when they do their thing, they be like, we don't care if it's 12 a.m. or 12 p.m., whatever, you paid. You know, from the gate.
Which one? The one downtown?
Last year, yeah, the Italian Fest. They made you pay.
Because I just went to the Briar Hill Italian Fest yesterday. Boy, that food was good.
Look, you go for the party.
Yeah, I go for the party. The food, yes. I had some great cupcakes.
Mm-hmm.
They were good. The alcohol infused. Well, she had the regular, and then she had the alcohol infused.
See.
Her name Taylor made.
Okay.
Cupcakes over there in Campbell.
She's everywhere.
Hey.
Listen.
Branding herself.
Yeah,
I had
Is she
the
the
apple
one-
crown.
Is she the one with the places on?
No,
Okay.
she doesn't actually. Well, she has a place, but she does a lot of vending.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So when you like at the festivals and
Yeah.
things like that, she always has.
And I tell you
a
what,
space there.
those
They
cupcakes
are
are
good.
well worth the money. Because
Yeah.
listen, I
Now,
bought
it's
the
infused
salted
in
caramel.
alcohol, you said?
It has a little infuser in them. I bought the alcohol ones or that she had was the chocolate bourbon. I didn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
I got the regular chocolate, the Reese one.
Does it smell? I mean, does it taste like liquor's in it?
I would imagine.
No,
probably like rum
what
cake,
you
right?
do is if you don't want the liquor, because I got the apple crown pie. Then she had some strawberry daiquiri. Then she had the salted caramel Baileys. I got the apple crown because that's my drink. And the
Did
one
it
with
taste
the
like
Baileys.
it?
Yeah, what you do is it's a regular cupcake, but it has an infuser in it. She tells you to squeeze the infuser if you want to. If you didn't want to do it like that, you don't have to. But the only time you taste the liquor is when you squeeze an infuser, but it's just like in the middle. And it didn't taste bad at all. In fact, it was good. And she had a bit of apple, like an apple pie, in the middle of the cupcake. So I can't wait to taste the other one, the salted caramel Baileys, to see what that tastes like.
So tell me this. When you infuse it like that stuff, so I guess that prevents it from being mushy?
Yeah, and when you just leave it in the infuser, all you have to do is squeeze it when you get ready to eat it. If you want to taste the liquor, the only part that has the liquor is where the infuser is in the middle. The only part that you taste the liquor, but
so you can take it out.
Bad. Yeah, you can take it out if you don't want the liquor.
But
it doesn't taste bad at all.
Good morning, Kim. Hand to go to, girl.
Hey, happy Saturday, everybody.
Yes. Happy Saturday. Roogle the Movie Guy. Nick, I ain't even introduced y'all. Nick, Roogle said that Nick drinking some coffee that ain't even made here.
Yeah.
And she said Canada ain't did nothing to us.
No, ain't none of this coffee made here. Huh?
Yeah, she
Right,
like
our
Canada,
war right now is within the United States.
it's within ourselves. Like, that's
Exactly.
hilarious. Listen, we got some hot topics to go ahead and cover real quick, and I got a few Shop Talk question of the week. We're going to discuss that. Kim, they told me what they did. He pretty much ain't do much of nothing. She went to the 400 commemoration last week. What'd you do?
I hung out in Cleveland with some of my friends visiting home from Charlotte, and hung out with her. Shout out to Tanya Bell, living with chronic illness, and she's doing it. You know, she keeps fighting back, and last weekend was her birthday, so she always has much to celebrate. So
Awesome. Every
you go,
day.
Tanya. Yeah.
Every day. You know, that's interesting because I did put up where some people feel as though people with chronic illnesses, they fake being sick.
I love that post.
I love it.
That was awesome.
And I'm like,
No, they're faking
being well. And it's so crazy. It's all about perception. It's all about perception. And I am guilty of not asking people how they are doing if I don't have the time to hear it.
Yeah.
They'll be like, how you doing? I'll be
Turn
like,
into a conversation.
right, just in case. I'll be like, oh, I'm good. Take care. You looking good. That's me. Before I used to be like, good. And you? Well, you know I got A, B, C, and D. You know.
F, G, H,
and right.
I, J,
And
K.
no, this and that. I'll be like, so now I don't even do it. I'll be like, good to see you. Take care.
Yeah.
How you doing?
When my brother got married, nobody knew that my mother was sick. My mother, she told them if they did not let her out of the hospital, she was snatching them IVs out and she was walking out. So they made a deal with her. You have to come back to the hospital.
Go ahead.
You have to come back to the hospital after. She couldn't even go to the reception. So when she came to the
that's
wedding,
cool.
nobody knew she was sick. People hugging her and hugging her real tight. She was about to pass out. Nobody ever knew.
Hey, that's the way to go. You got to live just like Kim said. You got a reason to celebrate.
Yes.
So it's like, what we going to do?
But I just love that post because living with a chronic illness, you know, people don't look at you and see sick. They think that things are supposed to look a certain way. We are so visual. And so when you said they're faking being well, I was like, well, you know, that's food for thought because people need to recognize that. One of the things that I have learned to do is not comment so much on weight gain or loss because you don't know what's causing it. If you know that someone is actively trying to lose or gain, that's one thing. But if you haven't seen them in a while and you walk up on them and it's like, oh, girl, you're looking good. Or, you know, that kitchen is looking good. You just never know. So I have become sensitive to that.
And that's a good thing. Someone said to me a while back, because when they met me, I was bigger. Mm-hmm. And then they saw me, they was like, oh my gosh, are you sick? I said, actually, I'm well. I said, when you met me, I was sick. Mm-hmm. I was on prednisone. Right. and I was like a long time steroids. You know, I was on for an extensive time. And then he looked at the old pictures and he was like, oh, I said, uh-huh. I said, but now I'm good. Yeah. So you do have to watch, you know, or some people get offended because people associate weight loss with illness. Mm-hmm. And that's not it. But yeah, I had to go ahead and put that out there. So kudos to your friend. All right, your boy R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
R. Kelly, they upset he had to go to court yesterday, the day before. I can't even remember. Anyway, one of them days he had to go to court. They said he was a no-show. How's he a no-show and y'all wouldn't even give him bail? Y'all, he's in your custody.
So what did he do? Just refuse to leave his cell?
Listen, and you still can't do that. They say he refused to get on transport. You don't have no rights.
Apparently you do.
Listen, he want.
Maybe you got the right to not to show up.
I was gonna say, apparently you do.
No, they're gonna shackle you. They're gonna throw you in and you coming.
Did he go?
No.
So they
but
didn't.
but it wasn't It wasn't
Well,
due to him.
What happened?
It was due to his attorneys, and they went and they said that he didn't have to come.
Because they represent him.
Right. And the judge was like, no, he need to be here. So they just trying to, I mean, he did some stuff, don't get me wrong. Well, allegedly. He was guilty of some stuff that...
Well, you should have been like Michael. At least show up in your jammies.
Right. He showed up, right? And he posted bail. He showed up and he posted bail. Oh, my throat. This is terrible. They're trying to like blame him, even though he wants a laptop so he could write his songs. Now, if y'all remember back with the R, he can't read. Remember? Mm-hmm. But you can write.
Well, now you can speak into any device and get the print to come out for you. If
you got Dragonfly app
Dragonfly.
See, I got to get with the time. I'm sitting there looking like, I don't understand. Yeah. You can spell, but you can't read. Like, what's up?
But he can probably make he may be able to read somewhat, but I don't know what the dude's read. But let's say
they said his defense
to him.
They said his defense is he needs to be posted on bail because he can't even read his fan mail.
Have your roomies read it to you. Like on, what was that? Life? Okay.
Go ahead, what you got, Kim?
Girl, I'm just sitting here thinking of all of the posts that I see on Facebook. Literacy does not stop you from communicating. It may not be spelled right, but it's there.
Girl, listen. You are so right, especially on that book.
Man.
You be looking, I'll be like, see, I'm not even commenting because that's misspelled, like, badly. Like, it's not even phonetically correct.
So, he can express himself. He's done it all this time. It doesn't have to be spelled correctly.
He definitely, I guess you ain't got to spell the way he expressed himself.
Let the church say.
Hey! I ain't even gonna say man, I'm just gonna say hey. Because that brother know he got a sex demon on him. Mm-hmm. I don't care what nobody, listen, y'all can be mad at the R. Kelly.
So in the future, will he have to show up for court then? I mean, how did they that?
They didn't. This was new, so it was like yesterday.
Oh, okay.
But he'll probably have to, but I'll tell you a little bit more. He has a federal and state case, and they want him to go to all these other states with these different women. Mm-hmm. And the only problem that I have, honestly, is why are you retrying him? Like a lot of those are old cases that they found him innocent and you bringing it back up. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, this is a federal case, right?
These are several. That's why they didn't have him come. They had the attorneys represent him. This was for the state yesterday. But yeah, he has federal and he has state.
So are they the same charges in different courts? Is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Can you imagine how much that's going to cost?
Well, from how I understood it, because I was listening to something they were talking about it, was that it's some kind of law that he broke, that he allegedly broke when he flew these women or girls from different states to state. And it's like,
and the parents knew, like the one you saw, y'all saw the documentary where the one parent knew.
But the thing is though, let's say okay, one of the issues was, I think it was Disney. He flew one of the what do you call them? One of his girlfriends. One of his girlfriends, whatever. But he flew them to another state, but they were underage or something at the time.
Oh, so he flew them to the state where it was okay.
But it's not okay. Because you cross the border, you cross the state border
with a minor.
Yeah, with the.
But he flew him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he didn't go get him. So he tried to cover his tracks.
Way, I guess it was like,
but it was still wrong.
Yeah, it was like, well, So he sent them to that other state, but it's a law. It's they got a rule for it. It's a rule for it. I can't. It starts with an M.
He wasn't the parent.
Yeah.
Did the parent give permission? Where was the parent at?
Exactly.
To say okay
or not okay.
The issue was not so much the flight, but it was the intent when they landed.
Well, he knew what the intent was.
Well,
he brought him to a state where it's legal to have sex with a 15-year-old.
Yeah, but you can't.
Because Indiana is one of them.
But you can't do that to try to break the law.
That's what I'm saying. He thought about it.
So that's what I mean. If he even thought about it, because he went to Disney.
Allegedly.
So if he thought about it, that makes it worse.
Right.
Because
And
he thought about it.
I don't think he knew.
What they say, the
So
intent.
this was premeditated intention.
Well, they try
To
to
have
make it
sex
seem
with
that
a
way,
minor.
but I'm thinking he. Like where he went, like it was. I swear to God, one of the places they mentioned, I remember was Disney World. It was one of the trips, and it was somewhere else, like a. No, I want to say
he
a theme
took
park,
he took
like
the baby to Disney World.
supposedly, you know what I mean?
Not as slow as he make it. He's not as slow and
If
as
you
he
did that,
making
you
himself
slow.
out to
Calculated.
be. He's very
I
calculated.
think so.
He know what he doing. He may not be able to read, but trust me, he
Somebody
know
got
them
his
laws.
back.
Somebody
And
got his back, and he know them laws. That's why he was maneuvering the way he was maneuvering.
But he couldn't. And whoever he's talking to didn't tell him about, because it's a law where you can't take a person to another state to have sex
Is
with
it
them.
Megan's law?
Nah, it ain't
But,
Megan's. It's something like
but
more.
how do you prove he was going there to have sex with her? But I guess my question
I guess
is
did he
where's
have
the
sex
parent?
with her?
Where's the mama and the dad? Where's the parent at who says you are not going to fly my minor child to another place? I mean, there's a lot of chains broken here in this process. There's a lot
Right.
of things broken in this chain. is what I'm
Listen,
trying
the
to
man
say.
called himself the Pied Piper.
Maybe the mom
The
said you
Pied
can
Piper.
babysit my daughter, and I'm letting you go with her. I mean, how to let you know what I'm
Listen,
saying?
I don't
The
care
Pied
what the particular-
Piper.
Right, I don't care what.
Y'all know the
particular is. It
story
couldn't be
about the
mine.
Pied Piper,
Yeah,
right?
see what
It
you're
could
saying?
be mine
It could be
because
yours.
it would
But-
not be
but
mine.
But wait.
apparently it was somebody's.
But
because
here's
they
the
went.
thing. Here's the thing. Do you know the story about the Pied Piper?
Yeah.
Now, he calls himself the Pied Piper. And I'm not gonna go into detail. I'll let you guys read the story up on it. They got a little snippet of it. Get the gist of what's
He
going on.
always did call himself.
He
that.
called himself the Pied Piper. But here's the thing. You have these adults, just like you guys are saying. Why are you bringing your child to him?
Mm-hmm. Especially after the first case.
Right, but you're bringing your child to him because you want your child to gain something from him. And he gets nothing from you. And I guess, well, the story of the Pied Piper, remember they didn't pay the man, so he took it out on and he had the children following him.
He said,
Come on, he called
"Give my
himself...
money, I steal your kids."
Right. And guess, there you go. So you said, that's what I'm like, the dude called himself the Pied Piper. I'm sitting, I done looked at that. I was like, he always called himself the Pied Piper. You selling your kids. They are selling their kids. They're selling them to me. I'm like, you gonna sit there, not all of them, but
No,
you
I'm
gonna
just
sit there
thinking.
and you gonna take your child up here and be on the stage with some man, like you said, Nick. What happened to the last one? Like the one girl, he pulls your baby on stage. Why is your child at an R. Kelly concert with
In
y'all?
the first place, and you know how he gets
You
down.
gotta, first of all, here's the thing. If you going to R. Kelly, you going by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the R. Kelly concert. Me and Candy. I wasn't there with my mama. Matter of fact, I don't even know. She probably know now. Like, well, you went to R. Kelly concert? Several. You know? But that's stuff that you do with your friends. You take your child. It was like, well, I'm gonna have her sing for him backstage, have her meet him, and then he'll sing. So you putting your child out here for fame, and then you mad that your child follow him. Now you think about the story of the Pied Piper, huh? Trying to figure out.
I know that part of it, but I was just thinking about the on stage thing, there's a lot to that because, like, I mean, anybody can argue that, well, this artist was my generation, so therefore, why would I bring my kid to it?
It was my generation.
Yeah, but
Her
I'm
and her
just
husband.
saying, but
You gonna let your daughter get freaked on the stage?
Oh, no,
But
no,
see,
no,
the husband
no,
and
no.
I can't see me with my
12
mother
play.
watching somebody
Thank
sing
you.
Bump and Grind.
Thank
or
you.
12 play.
Exactly.
And
Yes,
But see,
yes.
that was his fault.
whose fault?
That was R. Kelly's fault.
How?
Because
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, okay, even though, okay, this is the thing. First of all,
Please
he
explain.
pulling people up on stage, right?
That's normal. Every
Okay,
concert,
all
most
right,
of them, 90% of them.
okay. But ain't nobody telling you to rub nothing on anybody. So the thing I'm saying is
Rule
the issue.
go.
The issue is not. Hold on, let me just say my point real quick because you burned. You got. All I'm saying is the issue is not the fact that he pulled the person up on stage. The issue is what he did once he pulled the person up on stage,
Man,
and that becomes the issue.
you know
I
what's
got
gonna
to
happen.
where he's going.
Janet
But-
Jackson
No,
do
no,
it.
no, no. The issue is that they were there to be pulled on the stage
In the first place.
That's the issue.
No,
But I
hold
see
on,
where
but
he's going
is
with
there
it.
age limit to buying a concert
Yes.
ticket? It is?
It is. It'll say what is at the bottom?
Well, you got to be accompanied by an adult?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's she accompanied by
by her
adult?
parents.
I can see what you're saying. He should have known better. You grind
Don't you
on
know
an
what R.
adult.
Kelly is going to do?
I know,
when you
but
on
what I'm
stage?
saying, I understand what he's saying. You know, you grind on an adult. A child, you got to use. Come
Does
on
she
now.
have to show her ID
But-
before he knows whether or not he can grind her on
But
stage?
what I'm
she
saying
going on
is
stage?
what I'm
You're
saying
right.
is that he
It's
shouldn't
the
be
parents'
grinding on
fault, too.
anybody. He shouldn't be grinding on
Listen,
anybody.
I ain't gonna lie.
If you
If I
wanna
went to
bring
an R. Kelly concert and he put me up on stage, I'm
You don't
grinding
see
back.
nothing wrong with a little
I'm
bump and
grinding
grind.
back. They might have to pull me off the stage from my little station. I'm going
all right.
attempted rape.
This is time.
On
when
R.
when
Kelly.
we should
I'm
be
not
on,
going to
we
lie.
Need to have we need to be on television or
But
something.
my child would
Because my
not be
face
there
is
because
like-
I'm going to be cutting up, so I don't want my child to see what I'm about to do. Husband ain't going to be there neither. Holla.
But I'm saying though, like
Power
okay.
to the people.
Right.
Let's say for example, I'm trying to think of a young group. Like I'm trying to
So
think of
if it's
somebody
Chris
young.
Brown, is it different? Because
I would never let my kid go on the stage with Chris. I wouldn't
Because
let
he
my
don't want
kid
him leaving off with a black eye.
Because I would hate to,
Allegedly,
because
right.
they have me on the Washington Post shaking his ass like Maraca. He's like, he made music with this dude. But, beautiful, sweet,
He almost
beautiful
made
music.
me spit my coffee.
I'm just saying.
out of state coffee.
Right. Out of the country.
My imported Canadian coffee.
But I just kind of feel like the artist makes that decision at that point in time to do something they shouldn't do to anybody.
Okay, so let's compare the young New
Coming on
Edition to
stage.
the old New Edition.
Okay.
Young New Edition.
Candy Girl.
Okay, so I can see that at a Candy Girl concert, but New Edition today is going to be a different concert. It's
Break
a different
me
crowd.
up. Hey. Yeah, that's a different crowd.
So
Yeah.
it's a different
They're
crowd.
gonna be grinding and singing.
You're
to you.
expecting
Do me,
something
baby.
Okay.
from the younger edition than you are from the older
Okay,
New Edition.
well, let me put it like this. I kind of feel like this. If you pull somebody up on stage, you making them part of your show.
Right.
Pay me.
If you
No,
go
but let me
if you
say
go
this.
up on stage,
Let me say this. Most of the time, being in that arena, you know that they're going to pull you up on stage. Most of the time. Because what happens is they have people that work for them, like their security or whatever, and they'll point
and
the
they
person
point
out.
them out.
And
Yes.
it's like, okay, here you go. And they talk to them. Just like, I'm a Janet Jackson fan. I done been to Janet Jackson. That's my girl. Janet Jackson. Ain't nobody complaining when Janet Jackson pulled somebody up on stage. Had the dude, Trendelenburg, okay, strapped down on the table. I ain't see no problem. And listen, wasn't nothing wrong with her rubbing because she rubbed up and down up on him.
Any place.
And that was the song. And that was the song.
But what I'm saying is, like, I think the artist is putting themselves in harm's way by having acts like that during their concert.
But they,
You ain't got to do all that.
you listen.
You ain't got to do all that.
R. Kelly. What we Fiesta. Look, come on now.
Right.
No.
Hey,
You don't have to do it, but it's part of the act. But most of the time,
You can
9
hire
times out of 10.
somebody.
But as
But
a
they do.
parent,
9
you
times
don't
out of
take
10.
your child
Don't
to
get
no
a random
concert like
person.
that.
Just act like you got a random person.
That-
and then
that's what
hire
I'm
somebody.
sharing. That's what I'm saying to
so
you.
So you saying they pre-select
They
people?
do. They
Yes.
Then why in the hell would they pre-select a minor?
Why the H
Yeah.
would her parents say it's okay?
Her parents need to be slapped.
Because we
And
make
now they
such
are-
a big deal about being called out. Because you know why? It starts in school when they tell you to raise your hand to be able to answer. Don't raise your hand. Teachers should just randomly select kids.
What?
This starts with this is a whole different.
What?
Randomly select
But
them.
you,
need
but you,
permission to
but
speak
you,
now.
okay,
Like the
wait,
Price is Right.
but you
It
right,
should be like the
because when
Price
they
is
looking
Right.
for somebody, people be raising their hand, and I am that person that's standing there, my hand is not in the air
And where do we learn that behavior?
as a child.
Yeah, raising your hand.
Okay.
Go
The
ahead,
parents
wait,
not there.
she had her hand raised. Go ahead, Kim.
So this begs the question. This conversation we're having begs the question: if your kid skips school, who's responsible, the kid or the parent?
You.
That's where we're at. Who's
That's what they're
responsible
saying.
for this?
You're
I think-
responsible.
Who's
I
responsible?
think the
Come on,
thing is
answer.
that-
No.
The kid,
answer the
the kid
question.
is initially responsible.
But they want to hold the parent
The
accountable.
parent-
Because
So
the thing
what's
is,
happening here?
okay, skipping school, are you talking about, hey, I skipped a day of school? Or are you talking about, I just
skipped
don't
school to
go
have
to
sex?
School? Like if
How
you,
about that?
then that's truancy.
Okay.
That's a whole nother.
It's not. It's the parent
It's a whole-
responsible for what the child does. Or is the parent supposed to be able to step in and say, no,
All right.
this is not okay?
Who skipped school here
My point
before?
is, if the kid is going
Okay.
to R. Kelly, who's responsible?
Especially
All
when
right.
my mama was working daytime.
I ain't never skipped school.
I ain't
Okay.
going to school today. And
All
by
right.
the time my mama got
I
off,
never
I was home
skipped
from
school.
school.
I had a couple times in
I
my
was too
like
afraid I
junior,
was gonna
senior
get in
year, I
trouble.
skipped
I ain't
school.
had that to do.
So, but I didn't skip school like.
Wasn't
I'm
nothing to do.
making-
Everybody, all my friends was at school.
Okay, but if you got caught,
but see,
if you got
like-
caught, Roogle, and they come for your mom, is that right?
But what I'm saying is like there's phases to that. Initially, if they catch me as skip as like, oh, you skip school, then I'm initially in trouble for that.
From who?
Because from my parent and from the school district. But when it becomes an issue of chronic truancy, yeah, it's the parent's fault.
Okay,
You
well,
said
R.
chronic.
R.
We
Kelly
talking acute.
concert is chronic truancy.
No,
By the time you get to R. Kelly,
R. Kelly, acute.
By the time you get to R. Kelly, you then bypass progressive discipline. We at the top.
By the time you get to R. Kelly, it's the parents looking for
Okay.
some money anyway, especially if it was after the
remember-
first case.
See, that's
and
what-
they knew what was
All
going
right,
on.
That's
all
the
right.
way I
So
feel.
Let me ask y'all
So
this
we at
question.
truancy by the time you
Exactly.
Okay. I went to go see George Clinton twice.
Okay,
Here.
how you feel?
Okay, the first time I went to go see him, it was people, not our people, but it was people that was bringing their kids there.
Yes, I see
To
some.
run-
Yes,
You know what I mean? And they was bringing them like, if I don't ever do nothing for you in your life, I will give you the bragging rights of being able to say, even if you never remember this, that you went to the funkiest man on the planet's concert.
right. And
Right.
you know they blazing up.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, they know. So should those parents be put in jail or prosecuted because they brought their children to an arena where they had an idea that some level of illegal activity was going to happen?
But you don't know that it's happening. See, that was the plan. See, they sneaking and doing it. That's different.
But it happened.
And
It
if you know,
happens.
and if you know,
So
when I
those
hosted that one
people-
concert, I was so high back there. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I think I got a contact.
when last summer,
Was it last
the
summer? or
one
summer
last
before?
summer. Yeah, last summer.
You was it? Were you there?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We got pictures.
Roger
Okay.
Troutman?
Oh,
I mean,
no,
not
not
Roger
Roger-
Troutman. I
George
mean,
Clinton.
last summer?
That
Yeah.
wasn't last summer. The
In
summer.
one-
Wait,
no,
it was
it was
some-
last
Oh no,
summer.
not that. The one
Oh,
before
okay.
that. The one before that.
The
I
one
did.
that was at the
2016.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that
at
one
Standby.
Yeah.
That one was at the standby because the
Uh-huh.
one we went to was in Warren.
Yeah, I saw that one.
See, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in one.
That was supposed to be the last
That
one.
was supposed to be the last one, and he's still touring.
Yeah, that's a gimmick.
Hell, you
He
know.
got me.
That's just like the
Still
going
trying
out
to
of
pay
business.
those taxes off.
Yeah.
But it's
Talk
awesome.
about paying off taxes.
What?
I don't really want to change the subject, but we got to talk about Tyrese and Hobbs and Shaw and the
Go ahead.
franchise.
Go with it.
Okay, so everybody know who Tyrese Gibson is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cry. The crier.
He's one of the people. That, he's probably one of the earliest cast members of the Fast and Furious franchise. And so I guess there's been problems. Like, okay, I guess there's been problems with Vin Diesel and The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, with whatever. Like the one movie they was in, they had scenes together that they didn't even film together because it's like that, you know.
Come on, young
and
black
so
man, you gotta get it together.
so Tyrese is upset because when they did
They
this
ain't call him
spin-off,
back.
Hobbs and Shaw. No, he gonna be in the next one.
Okay.
But when they did this spinoff, it threw back production of the other one, and so the one he's gonna be in, and so he got mad and he was saying stuff like, "Y'all, you know, like pretty much y'all messing up people's money." But everybody know he the only one that's like cash poor right now. You know what I mean? Like because of his issue.
You better get on the
I don't even
bus
know what his
and
issues
start
are.
singing again.
But he was like, I try
Exactly.
to, I gotta, trying to. So he basically got mad. Because The Rock and them did their own thing, and it's delaying his money,
Okay.
and he got issues with, I think, I don't know, it might be a child support issue out there. I know there's a custody issue out there, and he's like, I'm trying to fight for my babies, but I'm like, that ain't their fault.
Right.
That's
Right.
bad English, but that we need to have
It
to say
ain't my fault.
That's
fault.
like me
They understood,
getting mad at
though.
everybody because I done overspent my paycheck and I want to cuss everybody else out because y'all delaying me on getting some. Nah,
Yeah.
bruh, listen. You had the money, whatever you was doing to
He was doing blimps. Remember, please take me back. Please, I miss my
okay,
daughter.
you're
Remember
spending
that.
money on that.
No,
That's money that you need to keep in your pocket. It's plenty of things that you, and it's a lot of these stars when they get to going broke because you be like, I got money, you overspending and doing dumb stuff, not thinking that there may come a time when your star is just stagnant for a while and you're not going to be making no more money.
Especially when you have let's put
And
it
you
like
only
this.
living on residuals, but you can't be overspending on what your residual is. You got to use some kind of common sense, and a lot of them don't.
And the only thing I can say, like career-wise for him, is that he's not starring in anything. Like the last thing he was a star of was Baby Boy, to my knowledge.
Yeah, I'm like, was it?
You know, everything else he was like a co-star.
And Taraji, the one to put him out there.
But the thing is that like your acting career ain't that strong. I mean, it's strong because you're there. No, what I'm saying is like.
Get in the studio.
Like for example, if
You
you
can
can blame another actor
for
who
being
came into
broke.
the franchise late
After you.
to say, "Oh, you messed the production, so therefore I'm mad about the whole thing." The issue is like, well, what about your other projects?
Where's your
Where's
staying
you
power?
like? Yeah,
What's
like
keeping
you
live?
yeah. So it's just like kind of like, well, if you know you're gonna be in a co-star role like that, then just be in that role.
But
You know what I
you got to
mean?
keep other streams of income open that you know your number one thing that got you out there in the first place was singing because they cast you in a commercial. That's what got you your singing career was that Coca-Cola commercial.
Was it
You need-
Coca-Cola?
Yeah, it was a Coca-Cola commercial.
Okay.
You need to make that your main thing. You know, acting is your side gig now. You're not getting no more main
But you know
roles
what,
after
though?
Baby Boy. So you make sure that you keep on doing your main thing, and then you have your side thing to fall back
Now,
on.
people may be mad at me about this comment I'm about to say,
Go ahead.
but I'm going to put it out there. I don't know if he has the same voice quality
As
that
he
he had
As he
before.
used to.
I'm like,
Right.
what was
I
Coca-Cola?
mean-
I'm thinking it's Pepsi. I was like, was it Pepsi? It was
Because
one of them
I'm
dark
just saying,
pops.
like, I don't like I'm thinking like I don't know, like I'm going to use an example. Somebody might get mad at in here, but like for example, I would never pay a dime to go see Bobby Brown do nothing.
Now, why is that?
Because Bobby Brown could barely sing when he could sing. Now you know.
Okay,
you
well, I wouldn't
can't
go see him now.
I saw him in June.
Well, that's fine. Oh,
And-
he blew it up. He sounds just like he sounds.
He
good.
don't sound like he did
He
back
sound
then.
good.
No, he still sounds good.
Okay,
but it's
so-
not the Bobby Brown back in the day.
The
all of
entertainer.
that. It's not the entertainer because half the
The
time,
gyrating.
Listen, half the time, homie was sitting on the stage and
Taking
Ronnie,
a break.
Ronnie was like, "Look at his fat ass."
Right.
Right, look at his fat ass. And then he back still cutting up. And Ronnie said, "Now you see why we kicked him out the group." I mean, and
He was calling
And
him out.
He
you
was
see
calling him out, but I
that
guess-
at a concert.
yeah,
You see
back
that
in
at a
June.
concert
Yeah.
at June, and
in
you
June.
think he did a good job. If other
did
people
an
are
okay
saying,
job.
"Look at
It
this
is
guy
group.
who is stealing your money."
I mean, because he still sings. You know, he's still singing.
He ain't jumping
did not
around.
sound
He's
terrible.
part
He
of
went
it.
from every little step to every little seat.
Every little seat, basically. Every little seat, basically. And listen, this is the alleged rumor that before the concert, one of the promoters or whoever had him in Southern Tavern on Sunday drinking, so he was toe up at the car. Everybody knew he was toe up. Everybody knew he was drunk. And he tell you, he told everybody. I mean, he admitted that he
Listen at
still
him from
gets
the
it
break
in.
room.
But how was you?
What's your point? Little sip.
Okay. So where's your
Did I
point
say
at?
Southern Comfort? I meant
You
know
said
what I
Southern
meant.
Tavern.
Southern
I said
Tavern.
You
Southern
said,
Tavern.
Oh, I
but
did,
the point
okay.
I'm saying is, you just
Okay.
said, oh, he do a good show. He was sitting on the stage, his ass was drunk.
Compared to the melee for him, and then the fact that this man
Y'all
at
argue.
one time did have a stroke.
Pull the
So
mic.
with,
Wait. Listen,
Listen,
wait. All right, wait.
Listen,
We gotta
this is
hear her
what
out.
I'm
We gotta to hear how she
Okay.
This is what I'm saying.
She said
you know, with
Go
all
ahead.
the drug problems that he's had in the past, and the fact that this man did have a stroke, he still did pretty good.
All right. Let me tell you about this
Is
one
he the
group.
Bobby Brown that compared to the Bobby Brown back in the day when he was New Edition and first
Brown, mean the girlfriend and the tenderoni and
No,
all?
he is not that
Okay.
same Bobby Brown. But for the Bobby Brown that has gone through all the trouble he's gone through, lost a child, lost his ex-wife that he was still in love with, had a stroke and drug problems, yes, he did pretty good.
So she said she giving a benevolent offering. So let's just say that. She don't mind giving a benevolent offering for his trials that he have gone through.
All right, because she said drug use, and this guy named Keith Richards who played for the Rolling Stones. The rest of the world is still trying to do enough dope to keep up with him. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And that dude and the Rolling Stones been going forever. You know what I mean? And
Right.
no one complains. Like say, man, that Keith Richards was off. No.
Nobody
No.
saying that.
Osborne, all of them.
But, so why y'all talking Bobby Brown?
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
All
you
I'm
know.
saying is, ain't no way in the world you gonna tell me about all these other problems, and then gonna tell me the dude sat on the stage, was
He
drunk,
did.
Listen.
sitting on the stage.
Listen,
You know what I'm saying? And said he did a good job.
I went to the
He
Jazz
did,
Fest.
he really still did.
Let me tell you, I went to the Jazz Fest. It was some years ago. So she's telling the truth. And Bobby Brown was there, New Edition. I went to see New Edition. You know, I'm just a New Edition fan, right? They are performing. It was after 7. Everybody was doing it. Old cats doing it. When New Edition came out, I am not lying to you. Dude was trying to keep up. He was trying. Listen, I couldn't do nothing but laugh because everybody else doing their little stuff. Ralph, Johnny was there. Ralph, Johnny, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky. No,
Mike.
not Bobby.
Oh, the other
Bobby was on the end.
Yeah.
He missed a few steps. Then dude, man, we need to be on TV. Dude sat there and rested his hands on his knees in the middle of the performance. He was like, you know, I had to be like, whew. Then he put his hand on his head while they still spinning and turning, doing their stuff. Ronnie, that's why I know Ronnie said that. So Ronnie looks over at him, shake his head, still doing his little stuff. Bobby leaves off the side of the
He
stage,
did that a couple times.
come back with a bottle of water, go back up to the mic, sing his little part. While they spinning around, he had enough. I just laughed. I was like, he ain't got it.
He went back.
That weight is
But
heavy.
I'm
Making
a couple
Ruggles'
times.
point.
Yes, I ain't got a problem. I agree with you.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying.
Speaking of being high, what's up with your boy Mike Tyson? And look, and Tyrese being broke. They said Mike Tyson blows through 40 G's a month of marijuana.
I thought he said a week.
$40,000 a month.
Marijuana.
A week, a month, or something.
5,000 a week.
Regardless, that's too much a week.
They got all kind of different
He's
stuff
a
out here in the
dispenser.
internet.
He must. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
He doing it from the wrong side. He need to open up his own place.
Right,
Like literally,
right.
like if Mike Tyson had his own like dispensary weed smoking place, and he just sat up there and smoke weed all day, you know how many people gonna come to that place?
A whole bunch of be like
if
a
they-
restaurant, huh?
Even if they ain't,
Basically.
even if they ain't smoking weed,
That's a good idea.
they're
somebody.
going to see Mike Tyson.
Come back to Southington, Mike. Come back.
Exactly.
Right.
Come back to Ohio, bro.
I'm just saying, like he missing out on an opportunity.
Come
Especially
now.
here in Ohio.
Anywhere.
Especially here in Ohio. Come on back to Ohio, bro.
Yeah.
But you just don't need to
So
be out there.
what would be his
Come on to Youngstown.
justification? What would be his justification?
Of
'Cause-
smoking weed.
Yeah.
That he must be. That sounds
Well,
like
you remember his
entourage
child.
levels of smoking. Like it.
Like
that
the
ain't
whole
just him.
entourage,
That
just
ain't
him.
him by itself.
Do he have that much money?
I mean, I
Yeah,
guess so.
yeah. Well, I guess he's a so-called wrestler now, and I don't know, but
I mean,
anyway.
he must.
Now y'all know. Remember, he lost his daughter. The little girl was on the treadmill and the rope went around.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
that is
it's
right.
I was going to say that sounds like self-medication to me.
Right. That's what
exactly
I was.
what it sounds like.
And that was a sad story.
But how can anybody get that high though?
That's what I'm saying. There's more
40
people.
G's.
more
I mean,
people
like,
smoking.
You're
it
right,
with
Roogle. It might be an entourage.
Yeah, or
There
it
has
could
to be
be
more
the
people
rarest weed
smoking
ever.
with him.
Yeah, but that's
Because there's no way I don't care how natural cannabis is supposed to be. Y'all getting that high, your heart gonna blow up.
But well, it's gonna stop.
Exactly.
Look, I'm like, 'cause it's the opposite.
I mean, you still
Look,
fall
it's the
victim
opposite.
to
Yeah.
the diseases.
But
of
here's the
smoking.
thing. Y'all gotta go to Mike Tyson when he said his back is broke. I understood now. I said maybe he was high. Because they was like, Mike, what happened out there on the interview? It's an old YouTube video. He was like, I broke my back.
I remember that.
My back is broke. Okay. I believe him now. First I was like, maybe he was high. We're going to attribute that to the marijuana use.
It could have been the opioids. I mean, not saying he was an opioids, but I'm saying usually he could have been like,
my
hey, I'm
back
going to make
is
a
broke.
switch.
Dude, you standing there looking at me. You fighting. My back is broke. I broke my back.
Yeah.
Well, what did the doctors say, Mike? Spinal. Sir, y'all got to see that. Remember I kept playing that?
Finals.
I was hollering. I kept playing that, Y'all got to see that. That
sounds like a lot of money. And then how is he buying it at how would they know his tab?
I don't know. Whoever, somebody like you that got a dispensary was like, let me see how much he running through. Let me crunch these numbers.
Why would you make that common knowledge though? I wouldn't want to. I would if I get.
That's what we do. That's what the media do.
If he's in a state where it's legal, nobody can do anything about it anyway.
But the point is, I'm like, why would I throw shade on one of my most respected customers? If anything, I'm like, you get that mic out of Mike Tyson's face, I will kill you myself. You know what I mean?
Like, we ain't doing it. Hey, listen, let's move on to the next part because I got to get through all of these hot topics. So we talked about whose responsibility is when a child skips school or if a child is at a R. Kelly concert and get pulled up on stage. Now, in Warren, Ohio, this is like local, Warren, Ohio, a 12-year-old was drunk and trashed her mother's house.
All right.
Who's responsible?
The mom.
12-year-old.
You said the 12-year-old, you said the mom. Okay, here's the story.
Where'd that kid get drunk at?
I was going to say, how did she get drunk?
The mother came home and the child was drunk at home.
Okay.
All right. Listen. The mom is who called the police because she was trashing the place, and then they realized that she was intoxicated. Uh-huh. Here's the deal. The mom wanted her to go to JJC, so mom is trying to take responsibility.
Okay.
They said she wasn't old enough to go to JJC.
Wow.
And because of the nature of the crime, they were like, she's not going to go. Couldn't get a hold to the father. So guess what? They left the child with the mother.
And if the mama beat the hell out that child, then they're going to turn around and come and arrest her for child abuse.
Yeah, so what do we do here? Is it like a double-edged sword?
I'm sorry, but
do you get abused by your child? Do you get the cash me outside chick? You know what I mean? Come on, because they capitalized on that. What happens? Because the little girl thinking it's cute. The little girl
not cute, and it couldn't be my could be my child because I will be. She said
her and her friend had whatever it was that she had. I will not say it because I don't want any other young people that might be listening to go and get it. Come on, just say no to drugs and alcohol, little people.
Well, yeah. I mean, she didn't. It wasn't like she stormed mom's cabinet.
But even if she did, mom wasn't there. That's mom's stuff. Listen, I be having liquor in my cabinet.
Put a lock on it.
I had liquor in my cabinet because I be doing, y'all know, I be having a party.
Yeah.
Now, I store it. I hid it because I'm thinking that my children wouldn't be able to find it. Then all of a sudden, okay, they got like, we're going to do this basket. I was like, I got some stuff I didn't open because anybody that know me know I just put it up in there. Thought I was going to put it in the basket. It was open.
Ooh.
Now, I don't drink. So it's one of the two. Who is drinking the liquor in the house? That is not my responsibility. I don't feel as though it's my responsibility. I took a son to Bible study drunk. He in the car with me, drunk. I had no idea. I knew he was acting strange. And guess what? I found out. Look at my voice. I was trying to come back. Boy, y'all got to excuse me. I found out when I got home, I went to go get some of my wine. The whole thing was gone. And he was like, oh, it's so good. I done took a child drunk to Bible study. I'm up here like, why is he? I said, wake up. First he was clowning. Then I was like, wake up. You need to wake up. I'm sitting there, why is he asleep? Get home after Bible study. I'm trying to be the good Christian mother. And took a child to Bible study drunk. Now whose fault is that?
Look, in this case,
is it my fault?
Everybody in the house, including the cat, was getting their ass whooped.
Listen, no, I couldn't figure out. We went, and anybody that know me, I'm always laughing. So I'm sitting there, we get to the stop sign, and he was sitting next to me. I'm like, why is he clowning? Because we clown. He was like, one stop sign. Oh. And I'm not thinking nothing. Then we go to the next one. He was like, we get to the next one. 2 stop signs. Me and Fuzz, like, what is wrong? I was like, we're clowning. We get up there. He act like he can't walk up the steps. We going up. You better straighten up. I had no idea of nothing. He's sitting there clowning, laughing. Boom. I was like, shh. So we got to go on the balcony because he clowning so bad for Bible study. We ain't down with everybody else. We up in the balcony. And then he falls asleep. And then he's snoring. So now I got to hit him. You know how it is. If you don't get up, you know how you be at church. I'm doing all of that, right? I ain't lying. When we got to the house, I was like, oh, I need some wine. Bottle, no lie. The whole thing, I opened up the top. It went all the way to the bottom. It was about like that much. So then my mother says, I see he drank. I'm losing it because I had all that. I went to a winery the whole night. It tastes good too. Now I will drink some wine. Anyway, I'm spazzing out. So my mother goes, oh wait. Then I take him to my brother's house. So my brother's like, yeah, just bring him over. He was like, just, he was supposed to come over. They supposed to spend some quality time. I pull out his house. His house had a bunch of flowers. And I was like, Champ got all these flowers at his house? Mind you, this is a drunk kid that I got near teenager. He was like, man, he was like, Champ ain't got all these flowers. And he just kept laughing. So Champ didn't realize that. He's like, he clowning. He thinking the same thing. Like, why is he clowning so much? My mother asked him and he said, she's like, did you drink your mother's wine? He said, Nana, it was so good.
That's funny.
He said it. Listen, I think it was like $24 a bottle.
Did he
he drank it all.
At any point in this time, did he say anything like, I need nuggets or tacos?
No, you know what he said? This is what he said. He said, I just wanted to taste it. And then it tastes so good, I went back. He's like, then it was all gone. He poured water in the bottom of it. The whole bottle. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I'm like the worst mom in the world. I was like, ain't nobody gonna believe this, but it only happened to me. Who takes their child drunk to Bible study, clowning? It was just a mess. Hilarious. So whose fault is it? I wouldn't take responsibility.
I think the thing is
it's not yours. Don't drink my soda.
If you look at it, that's the
don't
first,
eat
that's
my
the first
food.
thing. Like has that item clearly been made off limits? And I don't think I think
liquor is for a kid.
But I think the thing is that, hey, this is not for you. Okay, I had a relative. I would go over their house sometimes, and they had a cabinet. Like they had all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like this everything. They had an actual bar, and we took a couple sips of stuff we knew we should. We knew. No, nobody had to tell us, hey, you ain't supposed. We knew we wasn't supposed to do.
My point exactly.
But that's we did it. You got to issue idle threats in behind. Well, not idle, but promises. I promise you go get your ass.
Like we was doing, we was doing shit like oh God, we was doing stuff like daring people. We put a little bit of liquor in there and just say, here, you try it. And they just like, I bet you won't try with pepper in it.
Oh my God,
we just messing up the whole. You know what I mean? Just doing dumb stuff with the stuff. And so okay. I don't feel that my cousin's parents should have been held responsible for us doing something we knew we shouldn't do. Now, if they sitting down with us talking about, hey, we about to watch the game, grab some beers, we all drinking beer together. That's a lot of different things. Then yes, the parents should. You know what I mean? Yeah. But ultimately, they will find a way to put it on the family.
Why? Because they want the money. Because the child will have it.
Yeah, that's one thing. Well, it happened in your house, but the other thing is
there's a whole lot of stuff that happened in my house.
Think of all the
extremes that happened. And I ain't tell you to come. Don't be trying to sue me and fall down on my steps because I ain't invite you.
But there, for the harmless thing that happens here, it's that one place where it's really off the hook. You know what I mean? And so then these laws come into play that will turn your situation into that situation because that's the standard. That becomes the worst thing becomes the minimum standard for all activity.
Okay.
That's what happened.
That's usually what happened. What'd you say?
That's what happened to a friend. She lost her child because of a boyfriend that she clearly weren't allowed to smoke cigarettes in her house. So
she didn't know. You gotta talk louder though, honey.
You weren't allowed to smoke cigarettes in her house, so she ultimately didn't expect you to bring nothing else.
I remember that. Did the baby die?
Yes, and she got in trouble. The judge was more harsh on her than he was him. He's in jail, but he was like, because she had a good defense.
All right, well, let's tell the listeners real quick to catch up. This was what, about 2 years ago? 2 years ago, somewhere not in Ohio, but not far from here, where the young lady was dating a guy. She had no idea that he was selling drugs. He ended up bringing drugs into the house. Her child was there. The child ended up getting hold to the drugs, taking the drugs, and dying. And they prosecuted her. And she at work. So
this
her
was
house,
the day after Christmas. She was
her
at
stuff
home
was bopping.
upstairs. She was upstairs.
But her stuff was bopping. Her house was bopping when she went to work.
When she would be at work.
So he'd have turned her stuff into the dope house.
And then right before she come home, he would make sure it was. But the thing
he ain't like her.
He was down in the basement. She was upstairs putting all the rest of the kids' toys together. His cousin was in the living room, seeing the boy on the floor asleep, thinking he just went to sleep. No, something is wrong with him. The baby found the stuff. Well, the young boy found the stuff.
They found that out later.
But she was thinking maybe it was a reaction to one of his medicines that he had to take.
What, he's special needs? The baby was special needs?
Special needs, and he had that pica.
Pica. Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, man.
And I'm going to tell you, and a lot of people know it's her fault. She knew, no, she didn't. And she's the type of, because this is a very good friend. She's the type of person, like I said, if you at her house and you want to smoke a cigarette, you better take your butt outside.
The smoking section.
The smoking section, exactly. She was very nurturing with her children. She especially worked with him.
That was just
this is a child that was told that would never walk, would never talk, would never do anything, and she got him to learn how to walk. When he first started reading a book, that was a milestone that she celebrated. When she taught him how to swim, that was a milestone. So she was very in tune with her children. And just because she had a lapse in judgment of somebody that she got engaged to and thought loved her and her children, this is what happened. And so the judge threw the book at her. He only sentenced him to 4 years, but told her that I should give you, if I could give you time and give you more. And he told him, I would give you less time, but I have to because of such and such. Right in court, who does that?
Okay. That's not okay. Go ahead.
I kind of, okay. My thoughts are this, is that, okay, I'm thinking that the judge or the court, whoever, was looking at this and saying, if all this activity was happening at her house, I cannot believe that she did not know.
And that's what they were saying.
Okay, now wait. Now we're going to pin that right there. Actually, we ain't even got to. We can end it right there. How did she not know? A friend of mine, she had surgery. Her boyfriend, like you said, she was upstairs. Her boyfriend had robbed a Brinks truck. Y'all probably remember this story.
Okay.
The police came. All this money is in the basement. She had surgery, so she on bed rest on the top floor. Had no idea that any of this was going, and they took her too, as if she knew and was in on it. So I get, like, that situation with Nick's friend is, over time this stuff was going on. This was, okay, I'm going to rob a Brinks truck, and then you pulling somebody. You sometimes you just don't know what's going on in your household. And I'm saying that because I'm living here, and anybody that know me, I'm active. My wine, it might seem minor, was in the refrigerator. And I had no idea that this child was drunk and drank my wine, and I am here.
So there is,
and I'm active,
where you really don't know.
And you're
we
there.
Found out about the activity from a mutual friend that lived across the street.
Okay, now but go ahead.
And that's kind of like where I was going. So somebody alerted her that, like, hey, this
something's going on.
They did not tell her
until it was too late.
Until it was too late.
Okay.
And they still didn't tell her.
All right, I gotta move on.
Okay.
I gotta move on. Okay, when couples argue, who does anyone apologize, or y'all just start talking to each other?
You know what? Who going first?
Go, Nick. Your husband, when y'all argue,
the majority of the time he just start talking, and I'll be looking at him like he crazy. Every now and then he'll say sorry. Me, it's like pulling teeth for me to tell you I'm sorry.
Is it? All of us been married, so it's like, go, Kim. What did you do?
It depended on what it was. If I genuinely felt that I said or did something that I should apologize for, then I would.
Okay.
Sometimes just acted like it never happened, and you just kept on moving. It just depended on what the circumstances were.
Okay, go ahead, Roogle.
I will not garner any fault at all. I feel that way.
Are we surprised?
No, I'm just saying, like, if there's an argument and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, hey, I didn't start this, because a lot of times I may not start it, but I may have to be the finisher. That's all I'm saying.
Finisher.
And so, like, you know, when you the finisher, like sometimes people's feelings get hurt. But you be sitting there like, hey man, I don't want to. Hey man, listen, you did. You go okay, all right. So then you got to just go dig deep on why that person is so wrong, and then they look at their whole psyche. You know what I'm saying? Differently.
What? Going back? What?
Because I'm just saying, like for me, it's like, hey, okay. This is who I am. I'm the type of person, like, because usually a lot of stuff that sometimes when you argue about stuff where there's a clear right and wrong, let's say I said, I was going to do the dishes and then I didn't do it, right? Then I'm wrong for that. You know what I mean? But sometimes there's arguments that happen.
Is it mentioned to you that you're wrong?
It might be mentioned to me that I'm wrong, but in that situation, I would be wrong.
Okay.
But sometimes there's situations where outside... The outer world gets in your home somehow, some kind of way.
Oh, okay.
And then there's this larger argument, and I just be like, "Hey, if you got a problem, pick up the phone and call that person." Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't want to hear it. Like,
I ain't mad at you on that.
I'm
you know what I'm saying? Like, here, call the person. Here you go.
This is who upset you.
Yeah, call them.
Give it to them.
Like, why should I be all stressed out about something I ain't had nothing to do with? And that's it. So those are situations where I'm like, oh, I guess I got to finish this conversation.
So you're not a sounding board?
No, not because I just kind of feel like you can't fix a situation if you don't properly address it. Now the issue becomes when is it your time to address the issue?
Okay.
You know what I mean? But a lot of times when it's like stuff where it's like, and I'm not even talking about. If it's, let's say she was telling me something about one of her friends or something like that, I'm like, man, I could care less.
I know what you really said. I don't give a F. We know what he really said.
I'm with him on that. I'm with him on what he's saying.
Yeah, like if your friend getting a new job and you want to talk about that, then that's fine. But when it's all, if it's something else,
negative,
I don't even want to hear it. Like, I'm like,
that's their problem.
Okay, work it out. Pray for them. Leave me out of it. You know what I mean?
All right, go, Kim.
I just agree with what he's saying. Like when I said, if I know that I genuinely said or did something or didn't do, I'll apologize for that. But to start apologizing based on opinion or your perspective of it, I'm not doing that. Let's walk away and let's agree to disagree right now.
Okay.
Now, if you want to keep pressing it, I'm with Roogle. Don't put me in a place where I'm going to dig in you so deep the cut is going to hurt and we can't rebound from that. Because I'll go there. You keep pushing me, I'll go there.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not, and it's not the attempt. Like my thing is more or less like, stop arguing with me about stuff. Not even about like, because I don't buy into the, you know, like I believe you have certain levels of control over situations.
Oh, okay,
that's true.
But I also believe that when it's stuff that you can solve, then you solve it. You know what I mean? Like it'd be like the thing that I don't know. I want to talk from the whole male point of view, but sometimes when it be arguments to be so petty, you think like, well, what happens when something big happens?
Petty is a perception, though.
Yeah, but you be like if you can't squash the petty or let it roll off your back or whatever it is, what happens when something big happens?
But where is the petty?
Like what happens?
That might be big for the individual. Like she
but
said.
if that's big for them, what if it's big for me?
But you
like what if something is big
not caring?
for me?
You're not caring because you said leave that out.
But I guess I'm saying like if it's the way I feel like is like
what's big for you?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Cause, you know, I mean,
food,
money.
Oh, you talking about the issue?
Yes.
Okay. An issue could be money.
Okay.
An issue could be money.
Okay, so she's shopping all the time, and you like, hold up, that would be a big argument.
It would be.
I don't know. If the bills are getting paid, is it an argument, or do you wait until the bills aren't getting paid? Is it the money, or that the money could be better spent?
I think the money. I think like, okay, this was the school of thought I was raised under. Like, okay, let's say for example, one Christmas, I wanted this a Star Wars AT-A whatever walker. It was like one of those really big things, right? And so you figure back in the 80s, this thing was probably like about, I don't know, let's say $40, $49, but that was a lot of money. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And so I was told like, hey, if you want that, you can get that, but you ain't getting all this other stuff. You gotta figure out what you really want. You know what I mean?
Members only jacket or Easter dress.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I remember.
You know, I mean, like you get those choices, and sometimes, like I think people may not realize that choices happen. You know?
But you went from how you
were raised.
Yeah.
And they may be raised a different way.
And that's where you have these different issues in a
perception,
marriage.
right?
But my thing is that
or relationship.
when the things that are doctrine to me,
I'm going with marriage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see the things that
are a couple you could just leave.
That are rules for me or doctrine for me.
Yes.
That I may follow this and you may not. But when your issues start to invade my doctrine, we got an issue.
That's a problem, though. Yeah, but what about when yours invade hers?
Exactly. That's where the knife cuts deep at, though. When I was saying that, don't hate me because I could get the $40 thingy and you couldn't get it. Now,
right.
Of course, that ain't the case because I had to choose between a jacket and a dress. But what I'm saying is, my issue and your issue may be coming from two different places. Now somebody's toes are going to get stepped on.
Right. Just like this, for instance. You have a child with your husband.
Okay.
And... well, my mother is going to, I feel more comfortable with my mother babysitting versus your mother babysitting. Why? Because it's my mother. My mother raised me. And then him. He's probably more comfortable with the way that his mother babysat because his mother raised him. So you can't, that's when the two becomes one, but what's the background?
But now the knife is cutting deep because I'm going to tell you why I don't
I'm going to tell you,
yeah. Now you're pushing me there.
Parenting is different. You know what I mean? Just like even relationship and values and morals. It's different. It's different. So what do? You just be like, hey, is that stove still in the kitchen? Is that your apology?
Still in the kitchen. No, I
just start talking again.
I don't know, like something because I've been called to the carpet like, well, why won't you apologize? Because I initially did nothing wrong.
Go ahead, Kim.
So the question becomes: is accountability necessary to maintain peace? Do you have to say I was wrong, or do you have to just? Can we just say, you know what? The balance and the harmony is more important than who caused the rift in the first place. Let's just keep it moving.
Is that refrigerator still in the kitchen?
There you go.
But I kind of feel
just start talking.
When you like passively just give in or just end it, the situation. Like for me, I can be like, okay, forever hold your peace. You had your chance to say it. You said it. Once you said it, it's in the air. It's done. Don't keep me in a 2-hour conversation and your point is the exact same thing that I already gave into you.
Because they're trying to change your mind. They're trying to change your mind.
But at that same point, the point the mind change is being done is not about that issue anymore.
Now, that's pissing me off, right?
You know, it's about a whole other thing. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's a level of confidence, security, where each person is in the marriage. I mean, the status of the marriage. That's just, there's a lot of facets to the answer to that.
Now, what's interesting is this. I'll know that I'm right, and like you, Roogle, if I ain't started it, like, why? And you don't want to be rude, but when I know that I'm right, and a girl, she tagged me in this, it's a meme or whatever, and it said, when you know that you're right in the argument, but you let that person speak, that's me. It's like, okay, I made my peace, and if you know me, this is what I believe. I'll hear what you have to say, but you're not going to change my mind.
Because you have a level of confidence that allows you to do that.
And I'm like, this is it. The end. And if it's not my stuff, because a lot of people tend to, like you said, the outside world. Excuse me. I'm one. Excuse me, sir. Sir, I didn't get that to you. You need to call. Here you go. Call who gave it to you, because I'm watching my ratchet TV. You know what I mean? I'm like, you have to give it to who it belongs to. And then you want to come back, and you have people who don't apologize. They have an issue, and their apology is to continue talking. Oh, you got eyelashes. You know what I mean? Something stupid. You be like, and that's their apology. Yeah. Their apology is just like,
that's avoidance, though, in a way, too.
Instead of just saying, I apologize. But I'll tell you, if I'm wrong, I'll be like, you know what? My fault, you right.
Yeah, that's me. If I know I was wrong, I was wrong.
Right. And your point is valid. However, karma, this has nothing to do with me. So call who gave it to you. Just like I told somebody, you remember, didn't I tell you I was dating somebody? And I told him, I said, listen, when you have a stroke, I told them,
oh, yeah.
I was like, I'm going to drop you off to those people that gave you.
Yep.
They're like, you wouldn't take care of me? Absolutely not. I'm telling you, you might not like my honesty, but it is upfront. I'm dropping you off with the people that gave you the stroke. Now, if I give you the stroke, I'll take care of you. But I'm not about to do that. You crazy. Y'all ain't about to ruin my life. Y'all done ruined theirs. You ruined his. You ain't about to ruin mine.
And I think part for me, part of the issue is like, how long do we have to discuss? Okay, like if you let's say something happened.
Okay.
And you initially solved that problem, and you telling me the whole story to, oh, this is what happened, this is what I done to resolve it. I'm all in on that conversation.
Because there's a solution.
Yeah, or a solution's been done. But sometimes there's conversations where it's like, am I supposed to, like, do you want insight on this? Or am I just supposed to hear this?
Be a sounding board.
And so if I'm hearing it, but I don't hear any like resolution or nothing like that, I'm like, okay.
And then they don't even want yours.
All right, I'm like, okay.
They don't even want one.
I'm done. Like with me, the best way to communicate with me is tell me how you solved the problem, then tell me what the problem was.
So what you're saying,
you
said, tell me how you solved it first. You want that first?
Yeah, tell me how you solved it.
Because you don't want no parts of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, because it's like, I don't know. I mean, I see you want to say something.
I like the nails. Yeah,
I just kind of feel like that is just like, because it comes that thing. You ever hear that thing where people will say, and then whenever I see it, it's from a woman's perspective, but it's like in a movie or show where it's like, well, I don't necessarily want your advice. I just want you just to hear it out. And I'm like, what is the point of that?
Is that a man thing? Because y'all problem solvers.
I'm the same way too sometimes.
Are you coming for a solution or just a sounding board?
Sometimes I just want to vent. And then if you're giving me advice and I don't want to hear it, then I'm going to get mad at you. I don't know why I do that.
So maybe the question at the beginning is, because I do it, when people ask me, they was like, hey, listen to this. I'm like, wait a minute. Are you here for advice or you just want somebody to just listen?
I do that too.
I'm going to start doing that.
I do that too.
And then that way, you got to know the dynamics of it. And
I need to start doing that.
I do that all the time.
I want to put that into practice immediately.
Good.
And it's going to make such a difference.
I mean, in my whole life.
It refocuses the person.
Right.
It refocuses the person before they even start talking to you. I had to learn that as a coach.
Because, like Nick said, she mad at you.
Okay.
Or, you know what I mean?
No, this is unrelated. This is this regular conversation.
Go ahead.
Question. How often, okay, if you have a person that's telling you about the same situation, is it proper of you to say, hey, this is that conversation you had with me the other day, and I heard this part. Can you just tell me what's new?
Yes, it's proper. I do that all the time.
I need to start doing that because
I do that all the time because I don't want to hear it again.
People and they get pissed off, and the real reason I see they get pissed off is because they haven't advanced the issue. The issue is still where the issue is at.
They hit pause. They pinned it.
Yeah, but I got to hear the story 15 times and nothing new has changed. Give me the update. I don't need to give me the update.
Yeah, because a relative, it's the same thing over and over and over again, and then she's mad if I don't say anything. She gets mad. Well, because if I start acting different, it's not you, but I've given you solutions to your problem.
And you chose not to take it.
And you keep choosing not to take it.
So bye.
So, yeah, and it's the same thing. And all it is she wants somebody to be in her corner around her. I need to start doing stuff.
Oh, so she building a team.
Yeah, I need to start doing stuff, and I don't want to go to the bar all the time to get drunk and this and that. But sometimes things that you want to do, I cannot do.
Well, I tell you what. Here's a solution to that, and I've done it. Record on the phone. Now, if they don't want to hear themselves, you don't even have to say a single word. This is what I hear. You need to know. Because sometimes, like, even when you're communicating with someone and they're saying something, you're like, okay, so I hear, this is what I hear. You don't know how the person that's receiving it hears it. Mm-hmm. Record them. Here you go. So as soon as they start talking, I've done it. I hit play because of that same situation. They haven't advanced, and here you got to hear the story again. Mm-hmm. And I ain't trying to be funny. Time is something we won't get back. I don't have time to hear that. And I'm that type of person, too, that if you talk slow, my mother will vouch for it. She telling me the story that I've already heard, and it's in slow motion. I'm like, can you hurry up? Like, and I'm in the middle of doing something. So if I'm watching television, I don't really watch it that much, but if I'm watching a show, and it's not, the DVR is not on that television, so I can't rewind it. And you feel as though that this is important. Okay, I'm letting you know this time is important, but we already heard that, and can you expedite it? Tell me the update.
Yeah. Because I will say one of the things I get criticized about is that, like, my conversations will be more in depth with friends than at home. And I'm like, well, it's not that it's more in depth, but it's just that the pace of it is going here.
So it's faster?
Like for example, I may call my friend and say, hey man, this was the situation. This was the situation that happened. I give him a full update of everything in like 5 minutes. Because I'm not going back and telling the previous stuff about how I felt about this. And
okay, you give them the outline.
If it was rainy that day or nothing like that.
You don't need the details.
Like, I may have said that in the beginning.
Three birds was out there.
Because it may have been important to the plot. You know what I mean? but as I go on and saw, like, usually it's like, man, this happened to me, and guess what I did? Blah, blah, blah. They'd be like, damn, it happened like that. Blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, man, such and such, this and that. And in my, I said this, but in my mind I was saying that. Boom. Man, I know. What's up with you?
Let me. I'm gonna let Kim
situation.
handle this one. I'm gonna let Kim Ham, the go-to girl, wrap this up, the life coach, on that one. But I can guarantee you. Here's the thing that I've noticed: when you're working, when you're dealing with busy people, it's like, give me the facts. Usually, the conversation is with somebody who's not working or at home or retired. And they want to know all of the details. You like, I just really don't have time. So we're living on that microwave society. Like, hurry up, let's get to it. What you think? Yay, nay? Okay, boom, got it. But somebody that ain't got nothing else but time, they want, well, how come we don't spend time?
But if you a good storyteller, I'm all in there.
I was just going to, that's what I was holding my piece for. I was like, the friends are more stimulating in conversation than what he's getting elsewhere.
Okay,
You're
go.
being stimulated in the conversation. That's like, just like he said, you can tell that story for an hour. If you're stimulating me, you have my attention. You can tell this other story for 10 minutes. If I'm not feeling it, I don't want to hear it.
You gotta be animated. Like the way I tell a story. I'm like, and boom, and die.
But the one thing you need to ask when you hear people telling you the same thing, what needs to happen for us to get past this story? And are you willing to do it?
I know
that's a good.
What needs to happen to get us past this story? And are you willing to do it?
Now that's patience.
Do it.
That's
patience. She's not willing to do
it. So then we can't have this conversation anymore. That's it. You don't have to keep, because you're falling in the same trap of re-explaining as they are in retelling.
Yeah. She wants somebody to be in her corner.
Wait a minute. Go ahead. Go ahead, Kim.
If you're not willing to do what it takes to get past this, whether it comes from me or not, then I can't have this conversation with you anymore.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, now go ahead, Nick.
I mean, she basically wants, well, I know you can't go out of town. It's not that I can't go out of town and have a girls trip, because I've done plenty of.
Ain't nobody trying to have a girls trip with somebody that's going to be bringing me down.
No, and that's the thing. When we're out doing whatever, we're out doing whatever. But when you want to go, it's not conducive to when I can go, boo-boo. I have other things to do. You're at home doing you. So whenever you're able to go... Huh?
Is she working?
Exactly. I mean... when
my
you
sound
want to go
effects
and do things, not everybody can go at the same time, and then she gets upset with that. And it's like, I've offered this situation. If you're not happy in this situation, this is what you're going to have to do. You know he's not willing to sign, so you're going to have to pay and wait.
All right.
She don't want to pay and wait.
Okay. So, there you have it. Now, guess what? We're going to move on.
All right.
Because I got to hurry up.
That could be a whole show by
itself. Right. We got to move on. Like, listen. Studies show that women mature faster than men.
I find that hard to believe. I've seen it for the whole table of women.
Like,
I find that hard to believe.
The round table. He said he find that hard. All right, check this out. Here's the deal. They are saying studies show that men mature at age 40. That's what the studies show. And I'll give you some. They listen.
So where are they raised? Where is these men? Like, I
forgot where.
I mean, like okay, not where. Okay,
women. Go ahead. They say women mature at age 32.
Okay.
And here's why. These are some of the things that I thought was really interesting, just for conversation piece. They said that men in this study that I think they did 100 50-50. They did 50-50, 100 people. And I have it, you can look on the page and then you can see, and look at the details of it. They said that men think that farting and burping is funny.
Farting and burping is funny.
And how old are you?
Right.
It's always been funny. I mean,
No,
like
it's not. It's a bodily function.
I bet you Jesus Christ laughed at some farts.
Listen,
But
changing
he
jobs.
was younger.
Changing jobs. They say men change jobs more than women.
Yes, I believe that.
Nah, I can't.
I do. I got
I
that.
would say that.
And jokesters. Men are jokesters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen.
How is this bad stuff?
It's not. That's why I said just for conversation piece.
Okay.
That's some of it, and it's not bad. They're not saying it's bad. They're
Okay.
just saying that maturity level.
All right.
Now, burping and farting. I don't know. Like, it depends on when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody's laughing at somebody fart, and what's funny is not the fart. What's funny is everybody's response.
Yeah.
That's what's funny. I was like,
or where the fart happens at.
right. I was like,
You
no, like what the heck?
Or like my dog just constantly, now that we laugh all the time. My poor puppy
Listen.
just constantly.
Farts. We at the grocery store. I got it. This is when I was immature.
Okay.
This is when I was immature, okay? Under 32. This is when I was under 32.
Laughing.
It was funny. Listen, I'm sitting there, you make sure the coast is clear. We at the grocery store, you make sure the coast is clear. I'm in the meat section, right?
Uh-huh.
This lady was so small, but she was so up under my heels that I didn't even see her because I thought the coast was clear. Let me tell you. I floated a serious air biscuit. Listen, it vibrated though. It was like, listen, I felt like my stomach went in. I went down to like a size 22 waist. My child was there, listen, and she knew that I didn't know that this lady was. This lady was right behind me, little short white lady. And I'm tall. Man, listen, I checked though. I'm gonna need you not to be that close to me.
Yeah.
I'm looking around. I was like,
And you just backed her off. You.
man.
She was in your blind spot.
She was in my blind spot. And listen, it was the night before Thanksgiving.
Uh-huh.
So, I had to really check because this grocery store is packed.
Yeah.
Listen, it was like, run! It was so loud. I was happy. And then I looked. She could have died. Her whole face. Let me tell you, it was so funny that Courtney was like, oh my God. Courtney was like, oh my God, Mommy. The lady just looked at me like, you gonna say something?
You said what?
They don't.
The lady looked at me like, you gonna say something? You just gonna like,
You just gonna
They
let that
don't.
linger out there. Huh? You ain't gonna
I've
say
been
that.
in plenty of stores and they walk by and rip one and keep right on walking.
wait, listen, I ain't lying. That mug was so loud, it vibrated. Like I ain't lying, my waist went, I felt like I went straight to like a 22 waist.
Okay.
I was holding that. I was all the way in the back in the meat section getting some gizzards.
Yeah, listen.
So let me say this.
That's when it's real bad when you hold it.
And guess what happened with the lady? The end of the story. She was waiting on me to say something. I couldn't do that. I just bust out laughing and walked away. I just looked at her and just like, and just fell out laughing.
And I want to say this, is that I would say that all the women on this panel today are at least, they are no more than a day over 31, 32 years of age, and they are laughing hard about this fart thing that happened.
Right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, farts transcend age, farts, whatever. Farts is funny.
The lady was, I ain't like, the lady was about 4'9".
Oh, she
100
was
pounds.
like, oh.
Listen,
Yeah.
I almost blew her away.
She probably tasted that.
Hey, listen, the lesson learned.
Listen to these fart jokes. Listen to this.
Wow.
The lesson learned is she ain't gonna be all up on nobody next time.
Basically.
Wow.
How about that?
And I've been in the store plenty of time where they done walk by, rip one,
And you
then
walk
turn
into
around.
it?
Yeah, or just walk by you and just bleh, and then keep right on going, or burp, keep right on going, digging their nose, keep right on. Don't say excuse me, don't say nothing. So no, you wasn't supposed to say nothing either.
What you got to say, Roogle?
I walked into a fart.
Oh God, those are the worst.
I walked into one. Like, it was this lady. I walked into a pregnant lady's fart.
Oh, that's double. That's double.
Right.
I was like, I wanted to say something, but I was just like, well, damn, she looked tired enough. You know, I was like,
I'm gonna spit this out.
She is creating life, and she was not, but man, that was terrible.
Was it terrible?
Oh, it was horrible. And this was like a week ago.
Okay, it's bad in the restaurant.
Yeah, this is not. This is.
It was hot.
Yeah, it was. This is maybe 2 weeks ago.
Just
And
go to the air
was
biscuit.
so much relief for her though.
No, I think she already ripped it. Good. You know, she probably already ripped it. But I walked into it. Like, we was like, she was at the frozen. We was like in the frozen section.
Oh, so at the grocery store.
Listen, I ain't even gonna lie. I find aisles where ain't nobody, and I make sure I look real good.
That's what I did.
Listen, I know I'm doing the 360, making sure ain't nobody around the corner. She always called the wrong time. Anyway, making sure ain't nobody around the corner. And then I'm gonna rip one, and then I'm gonna walk away. So whoever comes after it, they don't see nobody. And they be like,
hurry up and run off.
You know what's funny? Okay, let's say I'll give you an example, not a real life one. Okay, like me and my wife, we'll go shopping at the mall, and then she'll go to a different place, and then I may be in the men's section, and I ain't gonna lie, like one time I let one rip. It was like one of those just free in ones, right? And she came, and I was like, "Hey, you don't want to come any closer."
Oh, you warned her.
Yeah. And guess what? She came anyway, just to complain about the stink. I'm like, I told you not to even come.
You might not want to go around here for like 45 minutes.
I'm telling you. Don't even like it's worse enough where I'm glad I'm looking at what's over here so I can move to the next section. You know?
Wow.
I'm transitioning this section to get away from it. Yeah, and I'm like, hey, don't come. She's like, why? I was like, hey, don't. I'm gonna come anyway. Oh, why would you come?
I just said don't come over here.
That's like the people who tell you, oh, I don't know if this tastes right. Try it. No, you cool.
You say, I trust you.
Yeah, I trust you.
You just gotta give him, what's his name, John Witherspoon. You might not want to come around here for about 45 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, the Greyhound bus driver that left the passengers on the bus, he quit his job.
Okay.
Did they stress him out that bad that he just said the hell with everybody?
He just walked off the job with a bus load of people.
And they were there for 9 hours waiting on somebody to come get that bus.
9 hours so they could find replacement. How does that work?
I wonder, did he drive to a place where he knew?
No.
I got a cousin over here. I can just go to their house.
What you say? Like, so somewhere he knew.
Like, I'm driving. I'm going. If things don't improve by the time we get to Albuquerque, I'm getting off this bus.
What do you think occurred that you just quit the job at that moment?
Could have been
Especially
farts.
Farts on the bus.
Bus farts.
Bus farts the worst.
A whole
maybe
bus of
maybe he had to empty out the bathroom. You know how they do that thing with the hose?
Oh yeah.
How do you quit your job now that's a public service. That's a public service, and it affects however many people you had on that bus.
And when he affected that type of job.
He affected all of those people. What do you think could have occurred, just for conversation's sake, to say I had enough?
Maybe somebody threatened them or something like that, because you do get crazy people that ride the bus.
Okay, now what do you think?
He just didn't want to do it anymore.
He had enough.
He had enough.
Go ahead. What you think?
Then we're saying that something actually happened on the bus that made
No,
him...
no, we don't know.
We don't
Oh,
know.
he just...
Right.
Oh, I thought you was going to reveal to us.
He just went in, and that was it. And just quit. They took a break. You know, you pull over to, you go to the station.
Oh, he went to another station. They were at a bus station.
No,
they just pulled over somewhere. Yeah, they just took a break. And he took a break, all right.
But how did he listen? If they was in the middle of somewhere, where did he go and how did he get there?
It was a place though.
But where did he go and how did he get there? What did he do? Call Uber?
I'm with Roogle. Somebody he knew wherever he was at.
I'm thinking he must have been like, you
Come
know
get
what?
me.
I ain't seen this person in a long time, and I'm done with this. But that could also tell you like what's the quality of the work conditions. You know what I mean? I mean, what if
wasn't no air on the bus?
Oh no!
But look at all those people you affected. They have different people. They have connecting flights, but connecting buses. Like, you are affecting those people. Why not quit at the end of the day? It's a new It's a new day. People just walking off. They just like don't care.
Oh, well,
what's happening?
I mean, but that's like the employer who has you work up until Friday at 3:00. You know what I mean?
And
like,
they want you to
everything
give them a
you
2
can
weeks
do.
notice, but they don't give you a 2
They,
weeks
they
notice.
sure don't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need
But
you to
they
give me
make
a
sure
2 week
you-
notice.
they get their-
You'll be
their
fired
8
in 2
hours.
weeks.
No, they make sure they get their 8 hours. And
Yeah.
then
Especially
at 3
depending on what
o'clock,
job it
they
is.
come and tell you
If it's
that you
allied
fired.
health,
You
yeah.
could have told me that because you knew this morning you was going to fire me.
Yeah.
You could've called me.
They knew during the week because they had to
You
go to
could have
HR to get
called
that
me and
paperwork
told
ready.
me.
They knew. Yeah, you could have called
A couple of them, I
And
went
then-
off on, man, you could have called me and told me
Well,
this so
see-
I didn't have to waste gas to come
But see,
in.
they justification is that you at least get a full week's pay.
Man, boy, I don't give a fuck.
When I was union president, their justification was we get one last day's work out of you. That's what their justification was.
Yeah.
Because it could happen anytime during the week.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't care what part of the pay period it was. If they know that you are scheduled to see people, they're going to get that assignment completed first. They prepared for you not to be there the next day, but they're going to get that last 8 hours out of you. I've seen that done
Yeah, you're right
several
about that.
times.
You're right about that.
They were going to get that last day's
That's what I was
work.
gonna say, especially
And
like
then that's
in
when
allied
they
health
have the
field, they do
postal
that a
people
lot.
come up in there and shoot up the whole workplace.
Well, I mean, it's sometimes.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah,
Seriously.
but sometimes jobs
Some
like
people
that.
are that mindset that you gonna do that? I mean, if you just call a person and tell them, some people would hate that. They rather you do it face to face. Some people, call me so I don't have to waste my time getting up or whatever. But it's like some people, if you go in and do that to them, they coming back shooting.
Well, it depends because by the time they get to that point, at least when I was union president, by the time they were going to fire you, discipline was progressive unless you really screwed up and went straight to the third tier. So by the time they sit you down to do something like that, they already have documentation to justify what they're doing.
That's why you grieve everything.
That's what, exactly. So what they did was, instead of me trying to find somebody to do that person's work, we get one more day out of them. That gives us one more day to cover them. And at the end of the day, we call them in. We have all these papers. They look all nice and cute. All the witnesses, all your screw up, and you're done. I saw that many a day.
Yeah, people.
That ain't right.
But that's what people do. You have to they're looking at productivity.
Yeah. Because I mean, like sometimes people don't look at like you should look at supervision. Is that this person's job? Technically you it's supposed to be to support you in what you do. But a lot of times it's people monitoring what they can find bad about you to let you go.
I was not
By the
that
time they
manager.
get to that point, that's what they are. They're looking to let you go. You have to realize you work for a business.
That's it.
That's it.
But I was not that person to look for what you. I was not that type of manager. Let me see what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
I was very direct.
But yeah, and you will find
If I say something,
yeah,
that means do it.
but
Like if I'm saying, I'm like,
but
you might want to do A, B, C, and D.
Yeah, but you can look at bad management and feel like, okay, so all these people, you have this much turnover in your department. Part of that gotta be your fault. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like some of it is like sometimes you get in that situation where I remember I took a job and it was like it was my intention to clean house, but people start falling off. You know what I mean? Because some of it was like they didn't get the job, I got the job, so they was upset about that. Then it was this stuff where I was like looking at the quality of work that people was doing. I'm like, how you supposed to do? You're supposed to be like direct care for people, right? Let's
Okay.
put it like that. And that person was supposed to have like 140 visits, right? Over a 3-month period.
Okay.
27.
What?
Whoa.
You fired. Do not pass go.
but
We don't even have to give you one more 8-hour day.
But-
You're
but-
not doing
but-
it anyway.
So how does that work
Exactly.
when you have a union though? And then the union be fighting for something like that? Come on, man.
Well, it's not the fact that they're fighting for that. Okay, I think the thing is like you never fight for the wrong. You justify if the contract has been violated
That's
or
what you're
not.
fighting with.
So
Oh,
it's
okay.
not about the quality of the person. It's about the integrity of the contract.
Oh.
So like you could.
Oh, so that's why I be like, now how they keep their job and this person over here didn't?
Because you know why? That person over there probably never said anything. Never fought anything. Never, because I've seen people.
No, I'm saying when you said the quality of
You
like
have
somebody
to know how
that's
to negotiate the contract too.
Yeah.
I might be more fluent in how to get that contract to read the way I need it to read than you might be. It depends
because you
on
can
who-
have a
it
terrible
depends on
worker.
your representative.
You have a
Oh,
terrible
man,
worker.
yeah.
You be like, how they keep their job, and then you have a great worker, and then they lose their job.
But sometimes
So it's
they-
based on
It's
you
like,
said.
which attorney is better?
Yeah.
It's
But-
one of
Okay,
those
so
things.
But I'll tell
so
you like
you
this,
what
you-
did you say? I want you to repeat what you said. It's you guys represent what? Not the
It's the integrity of the contract.
okay. That's
You know, because the thing is, like, there's been situations where it's been people like, that person don't work hard when they at work. But guess what? If they haven't, usually management complains about the person who comes late or the person who has to call off, not how much productivity they had during that shift.
oh.
That's what I've seen. I've seen a lot of people get.
Well, that's
terminated
important because you can't. There is no productivity if you don't come.
Exactly. But you might have that person who come to work on time and do a terrible, who may not do a great job or a good job, may not even do a satisfactory job. But sometimes employers look at it as like, well, we got the body there. We have a we have a person there versus
body
like
versus- okay.
not having a person.
Make sure the census is right.
I think you can have a crappy contract and a great strategy to defend the employee. You can have a crappy contract and save a screwed up person's job.
Your hair look good, girl. I'm distracted. Kim done cut her hair off, y'all, but it look good.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
You can't? Okay.
It's your strategy.
And I think too, like it's also the merits of like how because I've seen the people that communicate real issues with like their supervisors or HR seem to have a little bit more leeway than those who don't. Mm-hmm. And then but that creates a double standard too, because now you can say, well, past practice, you didn't do this to such and such, and late is late or whatever.
But past practice can help you override that contract.
Yeah.
Because what it's showing is that management accepted that behavior.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
regardless of what the contract says, if it says you're supposed to wear blue all the time, but you're letting somebody else wear red, you can't get this person for wearing red because you let everybody else wear red. It's the strategy. You have to know how.
Like an attorney, like you said.
That's right. You have to know how to work that contract.
Who's representing
I
you?
used to lose sleep over that when I was president because I had to think, if they come at me with this, I have to be able to come back with that.
Okay,
So
then.
it's the strategy, but yeah.
Now we
I
talk
wish I
about
had
the
somebody like you. When
right.
I was
We
at
need
the
Kim.
grocery
We need
store.
Kim or Roogle. Somebody to represent us.
They was wrong.
All right, let's talk about this.
they be
The
wrong a lot.
400 year. Help me out here.
Commemoration, celebration.
Yes. Now, did you see a news article that went viral where an interracial couple, she wanted to role play. The black woman wanted to role play. She wanted to be a slave, and she wanted her white man to be a slave master. Wait a minute. Let me say it. Hold on. And she wanted him to be the slave master. Well, the white guy got arrested because he was upset about it, allegedly, and he spit on her. So she called the police, and he was arrested for spitting on her. Yeah. Now, my question was this. This was my major question. Was he upset, or was he role-playing?
Who spit on who?
Okay.
The
He
white
spit
man,
on her.
the white boyfriend spit on the black girlfriend because she wanted to role-play, and he was allegedly upset that she wanted to be a slave.
So they weren't role-playing at the time? He just spit on her?
No.
No.
She asked him, they were in a sexual encounter. She asked him to she wanted to role play. She wanted to be a slave, and she wanted him to be the slave owner. Uh-huh. He allegedly got upset, and he spit on her and walked off. So the police arrested him.
Okay, so she brought the idea
She
to
brought
him,
the idea
and
to
he
him.
was like, that's so disgusting, I spit on you and leave.
Yeah. Now, my question, I'm just, for the sake of conversation, was he role playing,
Or was he?
legitimately upset?
He could have said he was role playing, and then he
wouldn't have got arrested.
Yeah, but I kind of think that was one of those issues where it was like he could have just left.
Yeah.
He didn't have to show his disgust by spitting on her. He could have left.
But then he would end up like that poor young man in Warren who got arrested for not wanting to have sex when it was hot, and he just threatened to hit her
if she ain't let him go.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
And he still got arrested.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember we were talking about that. But yeah, I didn't know about that. He threatened.
That's why they arrested him, because he threatened. He said,
that situation,
wait a minute, let me finish, honey, because you cut off the mic. If he threatened her. He said, if you don't let me out, he was like, I'm gonna hit you if you don't get off me. That was actually what it was. Okay. They arrested him on that. When they got there, he was in the car. He locked himself in the car, telling him it's too hot to have sex. Now here's somebody that actually walked away, and then he's stuck.
But he ain't walked. I mean, he walked away.
He ain't got no car, clearly. He probably ain't got. He was in her car. He probably ain't got nothing. Go ahead.
Also, with those two situations, well, the other one got arrested as well. So, but you got to look at it: white, black, black, white,
black.
They both got arrested.
The dudes is getting arrested.
The dudes are getting arrested,
except the one girl. The one girl in New Jersey, she got arrested. Listen, Dizzle must be doing something for real.
Yeah.
What did she do?
She got arrested because her dude canceled a booty call, and she done set his house on fire. Stop playing.
Well, yeah,
he
didn't
cancel it.
And wait,
he called, and she was on her way, and he fell asleep and didn't hear her knocking. So, and she steady texting him, saying stuff, and then finally she just lit that house on fire.
He was so tired that he suffered second and third degree burns.
That's attempted murder.
Listen,
right?
Dizzle is serious. Y'all out here slanging these days.
Either it's serious or she was just crazy.
Listen, the girl is up there mad calling the police because he won't have sex with her. This chick want to be a slave, and he like, no, I ain't doing that. This chick over here, he sleepy, he tired, and she mad at him. What's wrong? Go ahead, Kim.
What's wrong is we're focusing on his reaction. She's the one who invited this mess.
Mm-hmm. Right, on all of them. And the guy...
Exactly. I don't care if he was role-playing, being serious. I don't care what his reaction was. She initiated that.
And that's where I'm going with it. What is going on? And it's like, if a female says something, you just going straight in.
And then if you argue for real and he call you the N-word, now you mad. Mm-hmm. You open the door for that.
You know, when it comes to I will say this, though.
What is wrong with people?
When it comes to those domestic
wrong with
issues,
them just arresting the dude all of a sudden?
And we talk, when we comes to domestic issues, though, and we talk about, like the statement Kim just made about she invited it or
she opened the door.
Like that causes a lot of gray in that conversation. Like I mean, like as far as like does
so somebody like freaky sex and they be like, hit me over the head with a ketchup bottle and take it, and then you want to call the police and say, oh, I got a knot on my forehead, but I asked them to hit me over the head.
I am a female and I believe that wrongs should be addressed. However, I have to tend to think that sometimes the law is biased in favor of women no matter what happens.
And that's
because this is ridiculous. All of this is like tempers start flaring and you want to put all these men in jail. If he would have raped her, then what?
But look at what's happening. These chicks is trying to rape the dude, but he ain't getting up. Because if the dude could get up, it would be rape.
Well, shoot, he did treat you like a slave. He spit on you. What you mad for?
Right.
But it's like, because and this may be funny. I mean, this may not. But I think like sometimes like the issue is that like if there's certain things that may be acceptable if you're in the act.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So what he supposed to say?
So he should have said, I thought we were role playing.
He was like, I was just, that was my foreplay, or whatever. But, it's a crazy situation. It is.
And it all goes back to what I said several times before. Ladies, please know your worth.
Well, here's the thing. I think she freaky. I guess, listen, you know how they said white men been wanting black women forever. I guess she I wanted to be there. I don't understand the mindset, and I ain't even trying to figure out the mindset of individuals. And to each his own. We don't know how she was raised, like we discussed earlier. But you gotta know when to say when. And
domestic violence is a serious issue. Before you call the cops on him, think about what you're doing. Because when we have a domestic issue where lives are at stake, you don't want to ever find yourself minimizing that. Because a conversation like this can minimize the seriousness of what's going on. You asked this man to treat you like that.
Just like what Roogle said early on as far as like an argument. Hey, I didn't even start it. And look here. She, like you said, she's the one that introduced this. All right, let's go with the $20 question.
$20
question. This was on Thursday, I want to say. The strawberry letter. A woman asked a guy that she was dating for $20 for her son. Did you see it? For her son. And he wanted to know why and was not giving it to her. We just broke up. But they got three. Yeah, they got three kids. I ended up calling in. I called in on that one. I had to call in on it. But they don't got no kids together.
No, but
she has
the three kids, though. They were supposed to go on a field trip, and the kids did not tell the mother until the last minute. So instead of her calling the father or fathers, she called the boyfriend and asked for the $20.
She should have gave her 40.
A lot of people said that she was wrong. She should have asked the fathers. But then
it's
a lot
$20.
of people said, right, but then a lot of people said if he in a relationship with her and he knows she got kids, he in a relationship with the kids too. And if she asked him, she specifically came to him and asked him for whatever reason, and it was only $20, he could have gave it to her without asking what it was for, because you're in a relationship with. So
for him to say you should call and ask your kid's father, guess what? We ain't in no relationship, and you giving me $20. I'm a grown woman. $20 is $1.
Right.
Well, she asked for 20.
She asked for 20.
Okay, this is the only thing I would say is that how much. Okay, you with a girl who got kids, you take on a level of responsibility, and
okay.
I say a level.
Okay, go with it. Go, brother.
Because I'm saying like. Now I'm not talking about the $20. The $20 was probably the straw that broke the camel's back, but it was probably all the other stuff that he was doing to
prior to
subsidize those fathers' activities or lack thereof.
Okay,
that probably was like, well, what is it this time? You know what I mean?
You think it depends on the level of the man, because I'm going to say it again. My brother, his oldest daughter, he's not even with her mother anymore. He's married. He still does for her older children. Because
that's
that is
really
the responsibility
nice,
that he took on when he was with that woman, and they called him dad.
That's good that he didn't divorce the children.
Right, he did not
that's
divorce
good that he didn't
those
divorce the children. Now I'm just gonna put it out. I don't know how I be feeling something like that. You know, I want the kids to still come around, but you can't just like, if I'm contributing, you still issuing out somebody grown. But anyway, that's just my thoughts. I will say this: if I'm with you, I shouldn't have to ask for $20. I should be having $20. That's one. Two, I don't need you to take care of my children. I got them. And if I'm asking you for $20, I must need it. Why do I have to ask you for $20? That's another thing.
And why do I have to
give you an explanation? For $20, that's $5.
Well, how much? I mean, we saying it like how much? I would put it in perspective.
It's $20. Like
how many hours does it take him to make that $20?
Now that's a problem, because if it take you a whole lot of hours to make that $20, maybe one. If it take you 1 hour, we cool. Okay.
You know, it could be
even if it take you 2 hours.
But he can have a budget. He can
when you be trying to make
a budget in place. He can.
Listen,
I mean, like
if your girl need $20, why your girl? If your girl, clearly she ain't got it.
Okay.
Who eating? Let's assume, for conversation's sake, that she cooking for him.
Mm-hmm.
So he tell, and I ain't trying to promote prostitution or nothing like that, but $20, little sugar daddy down the hill dropping off 40.
Sometimes more than that.
I hope more than that. But 40s is just like an ongoing joke. Come on, man. $20, Roogle? You want to know why? This is not your child. This is your girl.
Mm-hmm.
You ask your child, what you need $20 for now? And mine are really guilty of, I got a project due tomorrow. What? It's 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, exactly. And that was one of the situations.
That was
$20. Was that the situation in this situation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was last minute.
Okay,
very last minute.
Well, it's not the last. It's not the kids. Okay, it's the kids. The kids should tell when they got something they need done. I've been in that situation as a parent where you like,
you just saying,
come
as
on,
the
you
father.
just waited.
I'm tired. I ain't the father. Let them step up and do something.
Well, it may because we don't know how many times this has happened.
Meaning that he's the first person.
Because it may not have been I don't think it was the 20. Like, why are you? It wasn't that I don't think the issue was he didn't want to do for the kids. The issue is like,
why am I the first person asked?
It could be that, or it could be like, what is the financial situation? What's the situation? Like, we don't know how many other times she turned around like, hey, can I have money for this? Can I have money for that?
My kids.
If she had 3 kids,
And he specified 3 different fathers.
3 different fathers. Well, come on.
Somebody, you got 3 choices, huh?
I mean, like, not even that. You got one choice. Like the person you made that kid with. I mean, you
in her case, it was 3.
Okay, but that particular one
What you
kid,
think?
was this for all this field
I don't
trip?
know.
It was for all 3.
I mean,
$20 for all
yeah.
3 for the field trip.
Yeah, well, I think
Boy,
the
that was
thing
a cheap
is,
field trip.
That's what everybody was saying. It was a cheap field trip.
not being in that situation, but just kind of like, okay, there should be 3 levels of child support coming in that house if she has those kids that amount of
Let's
time.
say the fathers are incarcerated. Let's just do that because we got to focus on this relationship between this man and this woman.
All right.
Well,
let's
for
put
him
it
to
like
have said that, though, they must
Wait,
not
I need to hear her point. Go ahead.
Because first of all, we don't know enough of this story. $20 to us is nothing. $20 might be $200 to this man. We don't know what the situation is. We don't know the circumstances of the dynamics. We're sitting here going off of our perception of what it could be. How, like with Roogle, I'm with him. How many is he taking care of these kids, or does he just help out from time to time because he's with their mother? I mean, what are the circumstances that he felt compelled to ask why, and what kind of relationship do you have with him that you would accept him asking you why? What made him comfortable to ask you why in the first place?
Now that's it. Now that's the $1 million question.
There's a whole lot of dynamic here we don't understand. However, when you get involved with someone, and people fail to do this, you have to look at the whole relationship. Did you talk about the fact that these kids have these fathers? Am I dating you? Am I dating the kids? Are we together for a month? Are we together 6 months? Where are we at in this relationship that this is even an issue in the first place?
Well, I think that relationship gonna be over because if he's tired and don't want her asking for $20,
if it was going to be over, she wouldn't be writing a letter. Because if it was me, I wouldn't have had to write a letter.
It was over.
Well, you know, and then the thing is, she may not be telling the whole truth.
That's
you know,
right. That's right.
Because
We don't know.
I think they did break up.
What if he was like, well, dang, she just got her nails done the other day and she calling me for $20?
my nails ain't got nothing. Hold that Roogle.
Hey,
My nails ain't got nothing to do with no $20.
But there has to be. There becomes
There
becomes
reason.
a financial line that I think women or the other person needs to be cognizant of when you asking somebody else for something.
But
Not-
we
you know what I
don't
mean?
know. She may have gone to all 3 fathers and asked them, and they didn't have it.
Married people ask why about money for kids. I mean,
Listen,
people do stuff like
you
this.
ain't even got to have
That's
kids.
not. That's
They
not,
gonna ask you why.
That's
Period.
not in the budget.
Yeah.
So
Y'all ain't going. Y'all ain't going to Chuck E. Cheese or whoever
I don't
Right.
have an ATM card. I don't have it.
to
Because
CC's
I mean, you
Pizza.
know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
don't know.
Because I tell you like this, there's certain things where like I can, like my wife, she'll say something to me, and I know as soon as she calls me, I know like, oh, okay, what is it that I have to do? Because I don't want to do nothing.
So when you look,
Right,
you know it's something you got to do.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Sound
it
like
may
mine.
be like how she engaged with me. Oh, so I'd be like, oh, that sounds like before she even says what it is, I know that it sounds like some kind of obligation that I have to make.
Sound just like mine.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then when you do, it's like, oh, well, you know, I'm like, that was so like it's almost like when you see that person who like, man, I don't really like that person, but they help that person anyway because of the goodness of their heart. You know, sometimes you can wear on the person's goodness of their heart with like a whole bunch of this stuff because like when you start to pick and choose what things are. Okay, I had somebody say to me, they was like, hey, if you ever needed something, you know you could ask me. And I'm like, okay, if I get to that point, I'll let you know.
Uh-huh.
And I left it at that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so my thing is like, if I went back to that person and I was like, well, this is the critical issue here that we talked about, but, you know, give me like $50 so I can buy ice cream for the kids on the street.
For the kids on the street.
See your reaction to that?
Right. No, I ain't got $50 for that.
Yeah, because you was like, hey, I can help you with some brick and mortar stuff, but I ain't helping you with this butter stuff. You know what I mean? Like, guns and butter, I should have said, but that's usually I said. But the point is like sometimes you just think about like that stuff, and you be like, well, like, okay, if it was a gas bill or something bill like that, you can see the urgency in that. Okay, but when it just becomes like random stuff, and not saying that field trip is random stuff, because those are important educational experiences. I don't think the issue was that he was giving the kids the money. I think the issue was we don't know how often she up here asking him for money
and putting it on the kids, because it could have been something that she was just doing that she wanted and knew he was gonna say no, so she threw her kid. Because I know people like that; they'll throw their kids in there in a minute.
Well, guess what? Don't throw your child with me, because I'll throw your child right back.
And we don't know that these fathers weren't paying child support. What did she do with the money? I mean, we're just assuming a whole
Getting
lot
her
here.
nails done, buying her new outfit to go out.
Well, let's not stereotype, because it's only $20.
I remember I was young in a relationship, and there was multiple kids in a relationship, and we decided to do karate with the kids, right?
Okay.
$200 a month. Right?
Okay.
I have one child in this equation of 4 kids.
Okay.
Right?
It wasn't even.
And but and the thing was, like, this person would never ask me for anything related to that sort of thing unless, and it was like one of those things where it was like, hey, I can do 80. And so I was like, all right, I can do 120. And the thing was, technically, I could do a little bit more. You know what I mean? And so I understood the situation. And it wasn't me. Like, I didn't feel like, man, I ain't going to keep yelling at. I ain't going to argue with her about this, about what essentially is $20. You know what I mean? Right. You know, I mean, if we go on half, we go on half. And, you don't measure, the one kid's worth versus the other
I
kid's
do.
worth.
I split it up.
Well, I mean,
like I do. I split up one.
Well, the only
like,
time
I'm joking.
Okay,
Like I got 25 on it.
I had a cousin, love this cousin dearly, right? But it'd be times where it'd be me, him, and his girlfriend hanging out, right? And for some reason, the cost was always half. Hell no, I ain't paying for your girl's stuff. You can go a third. I'll pay a third of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have with y'all. Y'all get
a double portion.
Yeah.
And so what did you do? Because I know I would have let me get some wings.
I brought it out. I just said, I'm like, hey, I was like, don't you think? I mean, I get it, but don't you think you should be anteing up a little bit more?
Yeah,
at least 60-40.
70-30.
Yeah, but in the kids situation, I don't think those numbers matter, and I don't think it's worth arguing about if you truly know what the person does for that particular for their kids. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes it's like a person may ask you for something, and like if I gotta ask somebody for something, believe me, I've exhausted every resource.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like when you have people like that, you can say like, okay, this is not a reoccurring thing. This is a different thing. But it was this other relationship where I was in where the little girl wanted like some kind of like Payless shoes. It was like, I don't know, let's say Dora Explorer or something like that. And even though the kid wanted the shoes, the mother refused to buy those shoes because because of the quality of the shoe. It wasn't a Nike or it wasn't that. It was whatever that brand was who made it. And I was like, well, to me that's kind of silly. Just get the shoe. If you're going to say, okay, first of all, if you're going to save money to get your kids something that they really like, you only expect that shoe to last for so long anyway. Get it for the pure enjoyment of that child having that experience. Because I remember, like, I had some Snoopy shoes when I was a kid. They were white canvas Snoopy shoes, and my mom washed them, and they turned pink. My Snoopy shoes were pink, man. I mean, that was back then when it was kind of like, there was definitely gender color preferences and stuff like that. And I technically didn't want any. They could have turned any other color. But it was like they turned pink. You know what I mean? They turned orange, cool with it. Brown, okay. But whatever. But, I remember, like, I was like, I ended up growing out of those shoes, around the time. Did you wear them pink? A few times.
You really like those shoes?
My shoes,
Snoopy shoes.
My Snoopy shoes.
But my niece is the Paw Patrol.
Wait a minute, go ahead.
But the point is that, like, even when those shoes got ruined, it wasn't like she just said, oh, they're not what they were supposed to be and threw them out and got me something different or whatever. Those were the shoes, you know what I mean? Like, those shoes were bought because those were the shoes that I wanted.
Okay, just for your own gratification.
Yeah, so that kid, okay.
Now, you said Paw Patrol. Yeah, Paw Patrol doing it, making money.
Paw Patrol. Now, my brother... Mm-hmm. My sister-in-law, she's like, I'm not buying them expensive shoes. My brother's the one that want to buy expensive stuff. Like
I didn't know Paw Patrol was going to be that much.
Well, no, I ain't talking about the Paw Patrol. I'm talking about just the Nikes.
Yeah.
She buys the Paw Patrol.
Roogle, what's happening in the movie world?
Oh man, actually there is very little happening right now, but there are some things. We talked a little bit about the Tyrese and the Hobbs and Gibbs, which is number one at the box office this week, bringing in about $25 million. But I think they will have some trouble keeping that record this weekend due to a movie I want to go see called The Good Boys. And this movie is a Seth Rogen comedy about three young men, very young men, probably, 12 or 10 or 11 or whatever their ages are, and their experiences over that weekend. It's kind of like the Badass movie for a new generation, but younger. So that looks to be pretty funny, and it looks like something I definitely want to check out. I also want to bring to your attention that guess what the Obamas are doing now.
What are the Obamas doing?
Well, no wrong. As they join in their venture with Netflix to start, they have a production company. It's called Higher Ground.
We talked about that.
Okay, yeah, we did talk about that.
Uh-huh.
So this is I don't gotta give you the background. I'm just gonna give you an update, right?
Give us an update.
So the update is this Wednesday coming up. They will have a documentary called American Factory. It's about a Chinese company that comes into. I think it's pronounced Moraine, Ohio. This is by Dayton, and they take over a deserted Chevy plant, a GM plant, I should say. And it talks about their struggles. Well, the community struggles, their struggles, and this company. And that'll be this Wednesday on Netflix, the 21st. And I'm looking forward to see that. And it looks like I'm happy that, because this was one issue. Okay, this was one issue I had with Jada Pinkett Smith.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
I got a bunch, but go ahead.
Even though
we were running over time.
She was complaining a whole lot about Hollywood not doing... And
Oscar so white.
Or whatever. But it was like, well, what are you doing to produce stuff? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing to produce things to start this thing?
Go ahead. What is she doing, Nick? What is Jada Pinkett?
The Red Table Talk on Facebook.
Go ahead.
Okay, all right. So it was like, the Obamas, their argument, I don't think their argument was that at all or whatever, but the issue was that, like, they are using their power, their influence to start to bring issues about America in this form of a documentary. So I'm like, so the issue is like, these are American issues that they're using their influence to bring about so people can see would it ever happen in this.
So you're talking about valid.
Yeah, well, not so much. I mean, valid, but also like if you see a problem, then fix the problem. Especially if you have the power to do so.
Don't be bringing Jordan on there talking about sleeping with Tristan on your show.
Yeah,
talk about Oscar so white, but you ain't doing a movie.
Yeah, stop. But I mean, like even if it was an independent film. You know, I mean, you don't have to have a huge blockbuster to do. And a lot of times, a lot of small movies win the Oscars. You know what I mean? Like, or movies that they're not expecting to have a lot of box office success, but critical success is what they're looking for. And I will say this, in sad news, Peter Fonda has died. Yeah.
He's a writer.
So he
the guy the movie. Y'all's a movie, and I'm the non-movie person.
And I got a little trivia for you. Who knows who Larry B. Scott is? Today is his birthday.
Happy birthday, Larry.
He is most famous for his role in Revenge of the Nerds as Lamar.
I never seen Revenge of the Nerds.
You never seen Revenge of the Nerds?
Revenge of the Nerds.
It's been so long.
Man.
It's been a long time.
Y'all have cheated yourself.
We have cheated ourselves.
Yourselves.
You got anything else? Because we got to move along.
Oh, yeah. I should probably, let's see, some other people's birthday. Tammy Townsend? You know who she is?
No.
Okay, well, all right.
What's she playing?
It's her birthday.
Well, Tammy.
She was in Quantum Leap.
Oh, okay. I remember Quantum Leap.
And, well, okay. I would have to do trivia for the rest of these. Y'all may not know off top. So we'll move on to something else real quick because it was something I wanted to say.
Okay, while you figure that out, hey, listen, it's time for the Q-tips. What's the Q-tips? Quick tips. We're going to talk about decisions. Even though we know today's show is about decisions, Know when to say when. Say when. When you had enough. When.
Mm-hmm.
So for the lovely people that are married, in relationships, you got to know when to say when and making those major decisions. All right, it's 4 different styles of making decisions. You have the analytical, the conceptual, behavior, and the directive. I am that directive decision maker where I use my own knowledge and experience to say, not going down that path again, all right? All right, making decisions. Make them for yourself. Make sure you have the right mindset. Trust yourself. Listen to yourself. Trust your gut. You know when you have had enough, or you know what's right and what's wrong. Know what you are worth. What Nikki said. Know your worth. Don't ask others what to do. Listen, do not ask others what to do. We talked about that earlier on in the show. When somebody has a question or they want it, do you want to vent? What was that, Kim?
Do you want advice or do you want to vent?
There you go. All right. So if you have to make a major decision or any decision, don't ask others what to do, because guess what? You can't blame them when they give you their advice because they're looking through their lens. All right. Visualize your future. When you make that decision for today, be like, am I going to be able to deal with this in the future? Listen, you got to do what you got to do, and sometimes it's hard. Align your life with your core values. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If I don't say nothing else, if you don't hear anything else that I say, do not consider the feelings of other people when you are making a decision for you. All right? That's all pretty much. Look, that's pretty much what I got to say. That's it. Do not allow, and we are guilty as just humans alone. We don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings, but you're going to be the one that's hurt. So if you are considering somebody else's feelings in your decision making, you are not making that decision for you. You're making that decision for them. All right. So there you have it. The Q-tips. Any last words?
Yeah, I just got to say this real quick. LaShawn Thompson. It would be, I'm Thomas. I'm sorry. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about him. He is a producer, director, writer, artist, animator, storyboard artist, a character designer. He was involved in the animation of the Black Dynamite, The Legend of Korra, The Boondocks, and now he has a show on Netflix called Cannon Busters. Okay. And I started to watch some of it, and it's pretty cool. And so the thing about it is it's an anime it's like a post-apocalyptic kind of America or whatever it is. Okay. And it's pretty cool. But the thing I wanted to say was he started off as doing this as a comic book, and then it turned into something else. It turned into the actualization of it being anime, which is pretty cool. And it's one of those things where it's kind of like you can do a lot of things through a comic book. You know what I mean? Like because
anybody that don't know, we know he loves comics. That's what this is all about right now. That's what this little moment is about.
Yeah, but it's like, this guy, he's from Brooklyn or whatever, and he's doing like this great work, you know. And so I think he needs to be recognized for that. And I'll bring y'all more feedback on that series after I finish watching. I watched about 3 or 4 episodes. I liked it because it was like I liked it. You know, I really liked it because I said I liked it wrong.
He liked it.
I went back
to it. You are not get a second date on liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. Like my life cereal. So anyway, but it was this. It's really great because it's it's a fantasy piece that you necessarily don't see done from. Not even from a black perspective, but all the characters seem to be black. You know what I mean? Which I enjoy watching. So, check it out if you like that sort of thing.
Okay. All right, Kim, wrap it up for us.
Today, a lot of our theme focused on money and how to spend money and what to do with money and attitudes about money. I would like to say this. Please remember that the rich stay rich by living like they are poor, and the poor stay poor by living like they are rich.
Well, amen. Go ahead, Nick.
There you go. And the church has spoken.
Hey, that's what she said.
My thing is, I said it the other day, I will say on my Facebook page, and I'm going to say it again with a lot of stuff that we did talk about. Learn to pick your battles, because sometimes we bark up the wrong tree.
We do. We really do.
I know I do sometimes, and I'm still trying to work on that. That's what I said. But, we really have to learn to pick our battles, because sometimes there's some things that we snap about, or, opinion. It's the wrong time or the wrong, you're in the wrong mindset or mind frame. We have to learn to pick our battles. Everything isn't for us to just snap out about and just have a whole attitude with.
Well, Kim said it best too, and Roogle. Well, actually, it was Kim and Roogle having that conversation where it's like you were raised this way with these core values, and your mate was raised with other core values. So you can't just negate, like with Roogle. What did you say was petty? Remember we were talking about the petty thing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You was like, that might be petty, but it might be big for the other person. So you have to have understanding and patience. And when you decide to step into something, you got to know what it is. And if you're making a decision, make a decision for you. I'm going to still say that over and over and over again. And don't allow others to make a decision for you. Remember, their decision is what is best for them and not you. And that is today's footnote.
Well,
Go ahead.
And when you're picking a battle, ask yourself what you're fighting for.
Right.
That's the best way to choose. What do I want the outcome to be?
Right.
Because sometimes it's more about you than the person you're trying to battle with.
And who wants an apology if it's not sincere?
Who wants condolences when everybody know that you just trying to be, because you don't have nothing to do with the person unless you have children by then, but y'all ain't been together in so long because it's something you did, but you want to out your whole entire class because they didn't give you condolences.
Look at her. I feel like I'm watching The Living Color. You remember when we was like, and you know how they be having an issue, and they be like, and this and that, da 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 da. What's it? Damon Wayans. Oh yeah. You hated it. Yeah, right. Like, hold up. Like, what we doing here? Hey, listen, that is my time, lovely people. I thoroughly enjoyed you as I do each and every. Why you ding the bell?
What you say? Thoroughly. You didn't say thoroughly.
I didn't get to say thoroughly because that music. Listening to Tweet.
I don't know.
You know, remember Tweet was with Jamal Bryant, and I wanted to talk about him. Pastor Jamal Bryant. He had did a sermon on I don't mean no disrespect. Listen, did you listen to it? Yeah, I like that one. I was really into it. I was like, oh, okay, the front part, as far as I don't believe in politics in the pulpit, I can't stand that. I came for a word. But yeah, I don't mean no disrespect. Hey, sometimes you gotta just tell people how you feel. But you gotta know when. Like you said, choose your battles, Kim. You wrapped it up. Roogle, I appreciate you. You done did your thing, speaking from the men's perspective. And here go a little tweet. The pastor was with her.
Is that the song is about?
This is Tweet.
What is the song
I got
about?
worried. I looked over to the left, a reflection of myself.
Hey.
That's why I couldn't catch my
Here it is.
Oops, there goes my shirt up over my head.
Oh my.
Oops, there goes my skirt dropping to my feet. Oh my.
Pastors need love too. Ha! Hey, that's my time. I thoroughly enjoyed you as I do each and every single Saturday.
What?
Thoroughly. Am I not talking right? Is my sugar like? Well, y'all know I'm nasally. Come on now, I got a sore throat.
I don't know. That sounds like a jawbone broke or something.
All right, one more time. Hey, lovely people. And you hear, I sound terrible.
Okay.
Hey, lovely people, that is my time. I thoroughly enjoyed you as I do each and every single Saturday. Y'all already know. Follow me on all social media at ShopTalk with Mel. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always, always love you. Until next week, people.
Shop Talk.
That was terrible. One more time. Until next week, people. Shop Talk. Right here on your Spreaker.com.